Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome, everybody, to the latest edition of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, along with G. Bush and aspiring porn star Tyvis Powell.
Yeah!
We heard that story yesterday.
You know what? It's so funny because I'm watching the show and my wife comes downstairs. And it was right at when Barstool Tate was on. And Mikey asked the questions, and when you hear...
Oh, that's like the porn star, when
you hear the name, like my wife was cleaning and she heard Tyvis, so immediately her ears perked up.
Right.
So she looked, and he says that, and my wife goes, "You 1,000% said that." I said, "Yeah, I did."
She knows you.
I be telling everybody I was off the hook, man. I really was.
Can't picture you off the hook.
I was really like out here, and my wife saved me a lot. She really calmed me down. I was bucked up before her. I was bucked up.
Let me find out you got some OnlyFans stuff out there.
I tell you what, I ain't got no OnlyFans, but I told the wife if things go south, I'll be the sacrificial lamb. I will put the link in the bio, and I'll go do that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, if you accidentally ran across it, what would you do, Bull?
If you ran across what?
Some of Tyvis's work.
What, on OnlyFans? That'd be a pass for me.
But I'm just saying, would you stop or you had to skip it?
Do you think you'd recognize it because of his laugh?
You gotta
maybe.
Well, I feel like it's like a point where you'll watch it and then once you get to that, it's like hold on, you be like you gotta stop because you wouldn't know.
you wouldn't know. Make good money on OnlyFans. I feel like only women can make money doing that.
They say, they say you got to be willing to do some stuff, but they say men get paid on there too. Really? I got a homeboy who's in that industry and stuff.
Wow. He's making good money?
Make good living.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you be Bull, don't get no ideas. Don't get me in here getting tied up or nothing.
Dude, I'm way too old for that. Right. Nobody wants to see me on OnlyFans. Speaking of OnlyFans, Mikey McNuggets is here today.
I am Bull's OnlyFans. It's true.
Yeah. Mikey spent a few dollars on OnlyFans.
He got a subscription.
Hey, listen.
Steve Becker goes on the OnlyFans cruises.
You see you get a hold of somebody's browser history, find a whole lot about them people. You be like, whoa. You better not let Google. Hey, listen.
Use the incognito. Huh?
Hey, listen, boy. You tell him. See,
the private browser.
It's too much game being spread out here right now. It's too much game.
MILFs, blah, blah. All right, before you get in further trouble, Anthony here as well, Earl as well. What's going on, Mike?
What's up, guys? We got a big show. We got Zach Jackson joining us. We'll talk a little Cavs, a little Guardians, a lot of Browns today.
Yeah. I got to do a shout-out. I forgot to do my shout-out.
It's your butcher.
No, not the butcher. I mentioned yesterday we had a wrestling meet. Aaron had a wrestling meet down in Medina. We were playing at Buckeye Junior High School. You guys know Buckeye?
Yeah, I remember they won a state championship in football in the small division a couple years ago. Yeah.
Well, it was three teams. It was Rocky River, Buckeye, and Hillside. I don't know where Hillside is. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever.
On the side of a hill.
On Hillside Road in Seven Hills.
Oh, okay. Well, Buckeye. So how it works with three teams, I'll tell the story quick. How it works with three teams is Team A plays Team B, then Team B plays Team C, and then Team A plays Team C. Mm-hmm. So the first match, it was our team against Hillside, and it was pretty even. They ended up beating us by one match. It came down to the last match. They won it, so they beat us 72-66. The next was us against Buckeye. We won one match the entire. They were like. We won a couple. There's some forfeits because they're not always a kid at every weight.
We're in that Boston on y'all.
When they actually,
you stupid.
When they actually wrestled, we won once. One kid on our team, Darren, got a win. That was
how many people on the team?
There was about 15 or whatever.
Y'all won one match?
Yeah, and it's not like some of our kids are good, but this Buckeye, shout out to them. Their wrestling program. I mean, I don't know much about wrestling, I've seen a few meets now, but that Buckeye, every single kid on the Buckeye team, and they're all 7th and 8th graders, badass.
See,
they was doing like wrestlers make good off our defensive linemen.
Yeah, they do. Tyvis, they was doing this. Tag, you're in. Like, that's wild.
Pending.
Next.
What's interesting too is, and we don't want to get too deep in it, but in 7th, 8th grade wrestling, some of the teams have girls.
Yeah, I just talked about this yesterday.
The Hillside team was like half the team was girls. We don't have any girls on the Rocky River team.
Do they make them wrestle the guys?
Yeah, that's
and the girls was winning.
The Hillside girls, when we went up against them, I think we won all those matches. But there was one girl on the Buckeye team. She was really good, and she beat a wrestler on our team, a boy. She was really good. You could tell. Like I don't know much about wrestling, but I
don't understand how that works, and on multiple levels.
I mean, it's
on. But that I see. I didn't know. Like when this happened, because I literally had this conversation yesterday because I was doing my sculpting thing and. The lady who was doing it, her son was wrestling, so she was like showing me his match while he was like, they was live showing it.
Right.
And we got to talking about women wrestling, like girls wrestling. And I'm trying to figure out, like, when I was in high school, was that a thing? Or is this like something new? We didn't have wrestling
in my school. I would have definitely been on a wrestling team if I could.
No, I was playing basketball.
We did have one girl that was on our team, like in 1999.
So like girls did wrestle guys.
But she played football.
She was badass, huh?
She was kicker. She was a kicker.
Well, we had a female kicker when I was.
And then she turned out to be. It's wild. She turned out. She let when I came back. Well, just years later, we was at a restaurant or a bar.
Yeah.
She came. I didn't know who she was. She came up to me. Not only did she became like an MMA fighter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like she's became an MMA fighter, but then she
not Jessica I, is it?
No, but then she got hot too. So I was like, this is weird. Like, this is strange.
For a hot MMA fighter, yeah.
But it was crazy because I did not see
Ronda Rousey.
No, I did not see that coming. Yeah. I didn't see it coming. She was the kicker, and then all of a sudden she would start kicking people in the face.
The funny thing is, so Aaron's new to wrestling, and he's lost all his matches that he's wrestled so far because every kid he's gone up against has been an experienced kid.
Yeah. Of course.
They're all been 8th graders. And it's just like, it feels like he never gets another match against somebody like him that's just started.
Yeah.
But his first match yesterday, and the kid was really good, but he held his own. Like, he did his best job.
Man.
He had the kid's ankle, and he was trying to, like, flip him. Mm-hmm. And the kid broke out at the last second. I was like,
in about a year, he about to turn it. Like he gonna hit this little spurt where now he ain't gonna be the rookie no more, and he's gonna be even better. Now what's gonna happen if he start putting you in ankle locks?
Yeah,
he'd be like, Aaron, go to bed. He's like, I'm not going anywhere.
Well, no, that's not gonna happen. But
that's why I work out. For my unborn son, whose name I still don't know yet.
That's right.
Whenever he tries me in about 16, 17 years,
he'll be ready.
Yeah, he's gonna.
All right. I sidetracked Mike, but have you decided on the name yet?
No.
It's still up in the air.
Yes, it is.
Still with the same two that you like?
I don't even talk to the lieutenant about it no more.
Oh, you didn't tell her about that whole conversation we had last week?
No, actually I did talk about that. But at the end of the day, she ain't gonna let me pick. Yeah. So
anyway, final comment. Sorry, Mike. Was so Aaron's first match against the Hillside kid. Young in there. The second, so we're getting ready for a second match, and I'm like, we don't know who he's wrestling, and I see some kid from Buckeye. Walk out, and he's wearing like a robe, like he's a professional boxer. I said to my wife, I guarantee you that's who Aaron's going to have to wrestle. He ends up wrestling the best kid on every team. This kid, and of course, there he goes. He walks out, this kid's in his robe. He's like strutting all over the place. And Aaron's like, oh my God, what am I?
He came out with the Muhammad Ali robe.
This kid was unbelievable.
Next year he going to be out on the flying carpet.
Oh my God, this kid had the Riz, right?
Yeah.
Look at you. Look at you trying to stay here with the kids.
Anyway. All right, Mike.
That is crazy.
I've rambled enough.
It's a disaster waiting to happen. He probably cauliflower ear under the helmet already and everything.
Oh, my God.
It's tough. But let's dive into our first topic, guys. It's brought to us by FanDuel. The NFL playoffs are here. Only 3 games left in the playoffs, which gives you 3 more chances to get a profit boost pack inside the FanDuel app. You get your profit boost packs the same way you do all your FanDuel betting. You just log into the app, make your picks, and then apply the profit boost for even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. Just visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every single NFL playoff game day. All right, guys, Jordan Schultz reported that the Browns, at least to his belief, are down to 2 real finalists for their head coach opening. Grant Udinski and Nate Scheelhaase, who will interview at some point after the Rams are done. Udinski's scheduled to interview for the second time with the Browns tomorrow. They do have Jesse Minter in Berea today for a second interview, even though he wasn't one of the considered favorites, according to Jordan Schultz. But, Tyvis, I wanted to ask you this. We know Jim Schwartz interviewed for a second time on Monday.
Rejected.
If the Browns end up going with either Scheelhaase or Udinski, whether one of those two truly is the finalist that the Browns are eyeing to make their next head coach, do you think Schwartz would stay on, and do you think that second interview with Schwartz was less of an actual head coach interview and more of a feeling out process for how he'd feel in that actual scenario?
Would he stay on as the DC? Is that the question?
Yeah, if they hire Udinski or Scheelhaase, do you think he would still stay on?
I think he would. I think that this organization has shown him how much they value him. You know, even if they don't make him a head coach, you know, they still value him. I mean, one of the quote unquote requirements that they want to have is that you retain him. So I think he's at a place where he's seeing his defense become one of the top in the NFL, you know, and it's his guys. It's hard to just leave your guys, even if you don't get the job, you know. So I think unless somebody else is going to hire him a head coach, I think that those 2 young guys will be willing to keep him on staff. I think that's also a reason why I think they're going with those 2 guys anyways. So yeah, I think he would stay. I won't think he would look at it as much as a slap in the face. I know he wants to be a head coach again, but clearly the Browns have shown how much they value him if they're trying to make a stipulation of him being retained by another guy. So why would you leave somewhere that value you? That's my thought on it.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, I don't know if they'll give him some more money. Give him, you know,
I'm sure they'll give him some more money.
They should offer him a raise.
Yeah, they will 100% give him more money.
Give him a little more bag. Obviously, he has autonomy over there. He gets still do what he wants. Like, he knows the guys, and hey, you got a really good defensive room full of people. Myles Garrett is still there. Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit. All your guys are coming back. So it's like, cool. Like, hey, like, all right, well, I threw my hat in the ring. I didn't get it. I got a raise. It's cool. I could just continue to keep doing what I'm doing. The organization brought you in for 2 interviews. I think they going in to see what energy that he has. The thing is, when you look at the landscape, I think Udinski, didn't he go to Buffalo?
Yeah.
He's not interviewed with Buffalo yet, but they have requested an interview.
Okay, so you got that. Is Scheelhaase, what other?
He's interviewed a few places.
Where is he interviewed at so far?
Everywhere.
He's had 4, I believe. I'll double check the exact place, but I believe he has 4 head coach interviews.
Okay, so look, I think the second interview was to kind of prep and prime and just keep it real. Like, hey, listen, the thing about talking to some guys and Jim Schwartz is they already know him. There's a relationship. They can come to him in their second interview and be like, look, we really got you as a finalist. We got some other things that we need to talk about in terms of these other candidates. Now, if them other candidates go, I wouldn't be surprised if Udinski blew the socks off the Bills and they were like, all right, well, we got Josh Allen here. That's a pretty good job.
There's no way they're hiring. There's no way the Bills with a Super Bowl quarterback are hiring a 30-year-old
No, they're
coach.
going to probably hire Brian Daboll.
Right.
Dable is a.
He makes sense.
And he like, and they like.
They
he's
said
the
Josh
one
Allen
who
likes
developed
him.
Josh Allen.
He likes
Well,
him.
they say him and Josh Allen continue
Yeah.
to have a really strong relationship.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense. That makes sense.
And if you're going to go from a defensive guy who took you to the playoffs, it's a no-brainer that I'm getting rid of him to go with to cater to the quarterback. Like,
You can't hire a 30-year-old coach when you're
No.
a win-now team.
No.
I mean, it's already crazy to begin with, but on a win-now team, you can't do that.
who is it? Who is the Raiders looking at? What happened to Cliff Kingsbury?
Hey, who's the Cardinals and the like? I haven't heard nothing about
anything
them.
about the
Well,
Cardinals.
I mean,
or
let's
Raiders.
face it, the Cardinals and Browns have to kind of wait because anybody with an option is going to choose those 2 last.
Well, I kept telling you that's why they go in the route that they're going.
Well, but Scheelhaase apparently
I don't- they might not, and they probably
But
won't get
the
Scheelhaase.
only thing I don't like that you said there that has me concerned is that they're hiring one of these 2 guys just because they want to keep Jim Schwartz. That would be really stupid.
Well, I mean, anybody else that come in.
Well, you should be hiring the best guy for the job, not the best guy that will keep Jim Schwartz.
But I also like the Udinski thing. Like, they probably value his mind. They probably understand that he's not quite ready to be a head coach, but they're willing to. Because next year it doesn't matter. They can hire Vince Lombardi, and they're still not going to be good.
Let me ask you this:
I think that they realize
no 8-9 next year.
Dude. Anyways, I think that they realize that. So this is going to be some growing pains for him. I think you keep a Jim Schwartz around because that was the guy who had head coaching experience. That was the guy who seen what went wrong last year, so he could be a good mentor on staff already built.
I think if you hire Scheelhaase or Udinski because you truly believe they're the best candidate, that's great. If you're hiring them just because they're the best candidate that would keep Schwartz, that's bad. That being said,
it could be both.
You hire the best candidate. If you're Scheelhaase or Udinski, there's no reason why you wouldn't want to keep Jim
That's my
Schwartz.
point.
Right. There's no reason why. But don't hire them for that reason. Now, in terms of Schwartz, you guys said we don't know exactly what he's thinking, right? He might be insulted. Because if you're him, you're like, they just hired this kid to coach.
Could be.
I've been in this league forever. Udinski's been here 8 seconds, and they think he's a better head coach. He may be insulted. We don't know. I don't know his personality. If Jim Schwartz is not going to get a head coaching job now, he's probably never going to get one.
Correct.
Right? So he may come to that realization, but we don't know how much he'll take this as an insult. I don't believe they gave him a second interview for that reason. That doesn't make any sense. He's part of the organization already. I'm sure they've already talked. I'm sure they've already asked. They wouldn't. The odds are you guys are right that he's willing to stay if they hire a young guy because the Browns have made it clear that they want to keep him. I don't think they would make that clear, although the Jimmy, you never know, I guess. But I don't think you make that clear unless you know he's going to stay no matter what.
Would you, if it's down to, this is kind of weird because if Scheelhaase goes somewhere else and
he probably will.
So real quick, Scheelhaase has interviewed G, just so we're on the same page, with Baltimore, Cleveland, the Raiders, and the Steelers are the 4 teams.
Yeah, they're all open. Now, we don't know that those teams are going to pick him.
But I mean, if you Scheelhaase and you're a former quarterback, why would you not go to Baltimore?
Right. Well, sure, but we don't know that he's their first choice. We don't know that.
No, I agree with you.
They're also a win now team.
But you also
are you going to hire a young coach?
You also got to say, like, you look at the pool out there.
Yeah, the pool is
very thin.
McDaniel is off the board.
Dayball probably off the board.
Dayball's off the board.
So now you left with Clint Kingsbury. I can't even say the man's name.
Clint Capella.
You're combining two. You have Clint Kubiak and Clint Kingsbury.
Yeah.
You just combine two into one offensive coach.
Correct. You got those two dudes.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Jesse Minter.
Who's approved?
Sean McDermott.
Who's a guy who's been a head coach before that's an offensive coach? Mike McCarthy,
Cliff Kingsbury,
and Mike McCarthy. So
I wouldn't want either.
And by the way, Scheelhaase is with McVay.
Yeah.
They out here cooking. They about to go be in the NFC Championship game. His name is hot.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it like, okay, well, if he goes to Baltimore or some other place, would you rather take? Because there's an option. Are they weighing? All right, if it's Udinski and it's Schwartz. You can have either or. Either you can have Udinski be the head coach or Schwartz be the head coach.
As much as I think it's a long shot, I'd rather have Udinski.
You would rather take Udinski over Schwartz.
I'll take a chance on the young guy, that maybe he's got this, and Mike Pettin spoke very highly of him yesterday. So that made me feel.
That was a great interview, by the way. I watched it.
Yeah, thank you.
Udinski or Schwartz, because theoretically they could have both of them on the roster, but the roles will flip.
That's the only way. Yeah.
Because they could keep Schwartz as head coach and Udinski could be the offensive coordinator.
And who would I want the coordinator?
Right.
In a perfect world, you want Jim as the head and Udinski as the OC.
Would you?
The problem is if you do it that way. Let's say Udinski is this wonder kid that everybody thinks he is.
He's leaving.
Well, in a year or two, he's gone as a head coach.
Fact.
Whereas you do it the other way,
that's a fact.
You could keep Schwartz as your DC forever, in theory.
Yeah. He can. What's the? So he can be the new Steve Spagnuolo.
Right.
Spags.
The way I think about it is if they hire Scheelhaase or Udinski, it was like when McVay had what's his name.
Kevin O'Connell?
No. Who was his DC?
Wade
Phillips.
Oh, Wade Phillips.
Right? Remember? Like he was like, he was a new coach, young coach. He's like, This guy's been around forever. He was a head coach before, kind of like Jim Schwartz.
And it worked.
He ran the defense.
McNuggets, let me ask you this question.
Shoot.
For young coaches, does the money matter? Say, for instance, they're young, unproven coaches.
Talking about?
No, what I'm saying like this is, if I'm looking at it and I say I get to, if I'm Scheelhaase or Udinski, and they say I get a chance to be with Lamar Jackson, right? And the Ravens offer you the job, they want you. But is there any way that the Browns can outbid them and say, hey, I'll give you this amount of money?
I doubt it.
I don't think so because you only get so many opportunities at that specific position. You get 2 tops, right? 2 tops. Very rare. Have we ever seen?
And let's face it. Let's be honest. I know some people are uptight about race.
If you black
coaches get less opportunities.
You get a half.
100%.
Listen, we ain't heard Gerard Mayo's name since he got fired last year.
Antonio Pierce.
And I feel so bad about that.
You got about
Aaron Glenn
5
Aaron
seconds.
done.
Glenn is starting the season on the high.
And Salah, this your last done. But you got to look like Boris Kozel.
And so Nate Scheelhaase.
Raheem Morris was 8-9, tied for first place in the division and got fired.
Jim Caldwell was decent in Detroit. He was probably their best coach.
Vance Joseph.
Yeah.
Bieniemy can't even get an interview.
Yeah.
Bieniemy went back to Kansas City as a play caller.
So Scheelhaase, if I'm Scheelhaase, I'm not taking the Browns job over the Ravens job for a few extra million. What are the Ravens going to? So the Ravens are going to pay you 6 and the Browns going to pay you 10?
And it's not like the Ravens going to lowball you because they don't kind of get your cap anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you never know, but I can't imagine that guy is.
When you think about the money part of it, no, because if the money is way different nowadays, but let's say every contract so far we've seen has been 5 years, let's say $80 million, right? It's probably more or less, whatever. If the Browns came in and said $5 million, $85 million, well, that doesn't matter because I got to get past 2 years. Yeah. Like, which one of these jobs?
Well, they're all guaranteed. The money's guaranteed.
I understand. No, I'm going to get fired after 2 years if I don't perform.
Right.
So which one of these jobs can I make it to actually see the next contract?
Yeah, right. Well, that's true.
I'm going to get fired.
Right. So
and now I'm only going to have one opportunity left.
For somebody to consider the Browns over the Ravens, the money would have to be so outrageously more, I would think.
Yeah, it had to be done.
Like that, I just don't see that. You're going to offer Nate Scheelhaase $25 million a year to be the head coach?
I mean,
he'd sign right today.
Yeah, something like that.
He'd playoff game, but come sign today.
Is Todd Monken just out of here?
I don't know.
Has anybody heard of Todd?
He's going to be the head coach now, Todd.
I know. Like now, because now all of a sudden
nobody's going to be excited.
Nobody. Even and then we gotta sit here and because we told him we give him a chance.
Yeah.
So all of us and then all of us gonna be like this.
Right now, there's definitely a Scheelhaase contingent, an Udinski contingent, and a Schwartz contingent. There is
no Todd Monken contingent.
No Todd Monken contingent.
And any
city. There's no Monken Mafia.
No,
there's no Monken Mafia.
What about Jesse Minter?
Yeah, he feels like he's off the radar. I don't know. Ask Zach Jackson about it. Let's bring him in.
We'll bring in Zach right now. Guys, we have a winning FanDuel ticket.
From Darren.
No, not. Darren did send one in, but we have one that has one up Darren. Cedric at Seti Fresh.
Seti Fresh.
Hit a same-game parlay on the Lakers-Nuggets game the other night. He bet $5. He won $1,432.53. A same-game parlay. He hit the under. Tim Hardaway, Peyton Watson, Jamal Murray, Luka Doncic, DeAndre Ayton, Luka Doncic assists, Luka Doncic points, Jalen Pickett.
He had the under on all these things?
He hit all of them, and a $5 bet netted Cedric $1,432.50.
I'm about to put me a lotto in today.
Nice
so
job,
if you guys
Cedric.
have winning FanDuel tickets like Cedric, make sure you send them in so we can feature them right here on UCSS.
Zach Jackson with us now. Zach, you heard us discussing are you buying into Jordan Schultz's report that it seems to be down to Udinski and Scheelhaase?
Yeah, I mean, to a large extent, yes. Yeah. I think it always made sense, right? And I was always in support for what little input we get, right?
Yeah.
Go find your own McVay, go find your own Shanahan. When you look at everything, that's who's winning, and you're in this situation. So different ways to go about it, and it really comes down to how they go about fixing this offense.
Right.
But for this situation and for really looking down the road, I think you can see that being a first step into a lot of dots that need to be connected.
Scheelhaase of the two, has the better. He's a little older. He has more of a track record. He comes from McVay and Matt Campbell, of course.
Yeah.
So I like him the best. But do you have a preference between the two?
He only has 2 years of NFL experience. And he was not the lowest guy on the totem pole his first year at the Rams.
Yeah.
Like Udinski was when he broke in, but he was pretty far down there. So that is the holdup with both of those guys, right? It's just lack of experience. I mean, even Udinski only had assistant titles until the Jaguars hired him as offensive coordinator.
Yep.
So why are you going there? Well, look at their bosses, Liam Cohen. Kevin O'Connell was Udinski's boss before he went there. This is the road that these guys went.
Yep.
And so you're trying to find the next one.
Do you believe they are equipped to handle what's coming? Because you in the room, you know what's coming. Hey, after this draft come, you're 30 years old. This about to be the hottest summer in the history of the Browns. You know it, Zach.
You're not supposed to ask me easy ones. No, I don't believe they're equipped.
But
you hire them believing that you'll get there, that they can grow into the job, right? If you hire Schwartz or someone else, you're saying we absolutely should be better than we are.
Yes.
We want to win right now, and we have to, and we seize this opportunity. If you hire these guys, you're saying they're going to grow into the role, and we as a roster has a lot of growing to do on the offense.
You have to be real patient. You can't be no rush to fire those guys.
Well, I don't know about real patient, but I mean not 6 months.
Yeah, well, sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Go ahead, Ty.
So two things. Jim Schwartz, you think he's okay with just being the DC?
I don't know that he is. I mean, you would think, and I heard you guys talking about this to an extent, you would think there's been enough in there. Like, by the time you have a second interview with a guy who's been in your building for 3 years, what are you asking him? One, are you sure you want to be here?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Do you need help?
Right.
But secondly, you're asking him, what do you think? Like, you were a head coach before. What will be different? What needs to be different at the same time? And it was long ago in a galaxy far, far away when he was a head coach. But that's what you're asking. You know him. And look, Jim Schwartz is the best hire this organization has made in many years. Yeah. That's why he's on the interview list. That's why you want to keep him. But does he? What are realistic other opportunities? I don't know. Yeah. Kevin Stefanski took an arranged marriage with a defensive coordinator. Yeah. Other guys feel like they have their guy. Schwartz is not for everybody. Right? He has his style. He has his style of defense that works. My one holdup with him being the head coach is, would you be taking away what he's best at, which is calling a defense and drive to drive, getting the defense.
And if he is the head coach, who? I mean,
he still call the plays.
I mean,
maybe
Todd Bowles.
Is there a guy? Is there a guy on the staff that he is like? His
Jason Tarver, his linebackers coach, has some coordinator experience. I mean, you could see that making a move. Maybe he has somebody from his past he would want to bring in.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes it comes down to titles with getting guys. So I don't think this is panic button, but the longer the Browns wait, the harder it is to get the better assistants.
That's true.
That's another thing. Udinski is going to Buffalo. They've already said that Scheelhaase has been with Baltimore, and they obviously got to wait to the end of the game to get him with the Rams because they're still playing. If they sitting around chilling and hanging out, trying to wait on these dudes, what if Udinski gets a job somewhere else? Now it's just Scheelhaase. Now you're competing with Scheelhaase with the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, I mean, I don't, there are guys out there who haven't interviewed with the Browns. Chris Scheelhaase he had 36 hours to do his coaching interviews. He took ones, there were other places. His first wave, right?
Oh, okay.
Could you circle back to him? Could you circle back to Sean McDermott? I don't know where it stands with these guys.
That's true.
But there are options. The problem is, Garrett, they need to do 2 in-person renewal interviews. So they can't hire a guy today, right? So Baltimore could hire Jesse Minter tomorrow if they wanted. And a lot of people think that that's what's going to happen. He's interviewing in Cleveland today. It's his third in 3 days. So Scheelhaase is considered a candidate in Pittsburgh. He would be considered a candidate with the Raiders, which with the number 1 pick might be considered a better job than this. But we'll see. I think today's Thursday. I think by next Wednesday we'll have a better idea. But you can't officially hire Scheelhaase if the Rams go to the Super Bowl. You can interview him next Tuesday.
So Rooney Rule wise, is who we gonna see? Gerard Mayer or Antonio Pierce? Or Deion Sanders?
Boy,
I don't think they would go.
Somebody asked me about that on the podcast.
I want to see because it's like at this point it's like obvious, right?
Yeah, I mean you could see Raheem Morris, you could see Deuce Staley, who's already in the building. You could see something like that.
Oh, that's nasty word.
Do you think it's like seen as like a disrespect?
I think that's the obvious way to say it. But let me say this, like with Mike McDaniel, I don't think it's necessarily like the worst thing in the world. Like Mike McDaniel had this opportunity to go coach Justin Herbert. We don't know if Mike McDaniel just didn't want to be a head coach again. We don't know if he didn't want to use his last shot on this situation.
Right,
we don't know if he thought the Browns already had somebody hired. It's probably some combination of the three.
Yeah.
So my reaction is just, it's like with a rookie quarterback. When he plays a game, and Garrett, and you go on Sunday night, it's not put him in Canton or fire him right away. This is a step. So when a candidate turns you down, like he had a good opportunity, everybody would agree the Chargers offensive coordinator is a good opportunity. What layers of that, and probably layers multiple, we don't know, and it doesn't matter. He chose that. It just put the Browns in a bad spot because they left themselves with that thing. And if Scheelhaase wants the Steelers job, he doesn't have to talk to the Browns next week.
That's true.
Right.
Good point.
Will we know next week if he declines the Browns?
We'll know next week, but I mean, you know, his agent is handling this for him. But Sunday night when they win or lose, and then they go back to LA, like then he's got to make his decisions on who he's really going to talk to. And if the Browns are third on his list, they might not get the interview.
They gonna lose. Go Hawks.
Yeah. I mean, there's still going to be a name or two maybe that's off the radar that ends up, whether it's the Browns or somebody else. I mean, the fact that we have 6 open coaching jobs 3 days before the championship game is crazy. I don't think it's ever happened.
People assume Minter's going to get a job.
Right.
People assume Shula is going to get a job.
You think Daboll ends up in Buffalo?
I think it fits there. He wasn't really getting nibbles anywhere else, which I understand, but it fits there. Like, he is the guy that helped raise Josh Allen to where he was. He knows that organization, and you made that move because Josh Allen has not gotten to a Super Bowl.
Right.
So that fits there. But what are they going to think about Udinski? Who else do they want to talk to? I don't know. I mean, as of last night, Sean McDermott hadn't talked to anyone, right?
Right, I haven't heard much about him.
And sometimes it goes for these guys, they're candidates, and then they're just not. And maybe they were only interested in 1 or 2 jobs. Like, I read it completely wrong with Stefanski. What did he do, 5 interviews? Like, I thought he would maybe do 1 or 2.
Yeah.
It did work out for him, but, like, you just don't know what they're thinking. You know, Harbaugh ultimately said he would talk to 3. He talked to 2. He took the 1 immediately. You don't know. Maybe Chris Shula, maybe he really only had 36 hours, or maybe he was never considering the Browns.
Right.
And then if it doesn't work out with the 2 teams that he was considering, does he just go back to the Rams, or does does he circle back to the Browns?
Let me ask you this: we get the news that Tommy Rees is going to Atlanta, right? Like, if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan, they just ran back the whole offense. Or
No, they didn't get Chad O'Shea.
Well, they didn't get Chad O'Shea.
They got better talent, though.
But so are they banking on So basically, this is coming down to a showdown. They telling you that it's the roster and the roster construction, and they are saying we're doubling down on what we feel like we are offensive.
I think it's a fair way to look at it. I don't think it's a 100% accurate way to look at it. I think we've been talking for months about how it was roster construction versus coaching. But he got Bill Callahan as offensive line coach. He didn't have that here.
That's different.
2 years, right? I mean, he's saying I trust in Tommy Rees, but let's be honest. Tommy Rees was a tight ends coach who had another title to get him there. Like, he's just young in his career. He's rising up.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is not a guy who's done this 10 years in the NFL or in 6 different places.
Yeah.
Like, the Browns were his first NFL job. So, in a way, you're saying that, Garrett, but I don't think it was like, always, it has to be this, and I'm running it back with this staff. I think it's how it worked out, and I think Kevin always envisioned, if I get a job, I'm getting Bill Callahan. And I'm sure that was talked about in the interview.
Absolutely. And by the way, if the Falcons' offense is better than the Browns, which it very likely will be, that doesn't mean the Browns did the wrong thing in firing Stefanski.
Sure.
The Falcons have way more talent on offense. I don't know how good their offensive line is. I'm not sure.
It was middle of the pack.
All right, but middle of the pack's way higher than what the Browns was. They've got Drake London, who's better than anybody the Browns have.
They got Pitts.
Bijan Robinson might be the best back in the league.
Yeah, they got guys.
Pitts is a free agent, but
they're going to resign.
Well, when Kevin Stefanski becomes the head coach, tight ends go back.
He's about to get direct snaps, reverses. He's going to return punts.
We're going to dive into that in a sec. Before we get into the Stefanski versus Andrew Berry part of this, we talked yesterday about it was an ESPN article, bold predictions, potentially Malik Willis coming to Cleveland. Whether it's Malik Willis or somebody else, do you believe the Browns will make some sort of change to their quarterback room, or are we going to run it back next year with Deshaun, Shador, and Dillon?
Well, I think exploring that is just as high up on the list as hiring a head coach. Obviously, you have to hire the head coach first, but I think exploring that is mandatory. I do think it will happen. I think Malik Willis has probably priced himself out of the Browns with the way he played here at the end of the year. I mean, if you're going to give a guy a commitment and now he's earned that, like, you've got to worry. Like, you're paying Watson for 3 more years. You know, like they have done this to themselves. So I do think they're going to explore every avenue with Malik Willis, with Mac Jones. Is it going to work out? Do those guys want them? I don't know. With Mac Jones, it's who makes the best trade to the Niners, they say they're going to do right by Mac.
Right,
With
right.
Malik Willis, it's unrestricted free agency. There's a difference.
Yeah, I'm just surprised Malik Willis is going to get so much money. He didn't play
Malik
a
Willis
lot.
was in the 22 draft. So the Browns looked at the 22 draft and said, we don't want anything to do with this. We're
Right.
trading for Watson. They ended up with Kenny Pickett last year for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Now he's back in. But that's how old Malik Willis is, 22 draft. Mac Jones is, what, 27 or 28? He was in the 21 draft as a very young guy.
And he's played, 6 games?
I feel like something like that.
Hey, this all comes full circle, Bull, not to cut you off.
No,
but
it's
like
fine.
the discussion's going to be about Ty Simpson, only being a one-year starter.
Right.
That was Mac Jones too.
Yeah,
and now he's in. It hasn't worked in 2 or
Right.
3 different places, and now he's in demand. So all of these decisions, every guy that's in the draft matters. If Chambliss is in the draft or not, that matters. What is the value for Mac Jones, and what is your level? It all matters because eventually you have to get it right, and obviously sooner than later.
Isn't it funny that Chambliss, you had Maurice Clarett fighting to get into the NFL. Chambliss is fighting to not go to the NFL.
Yeah, I think Chambliss is probably going to be about 5'11" when it happens.
Oh,
About
gosh.
5'10" and some change.
Yeah.
I think he got a lot of little DTR, slight of frame. But here's what I will say.
Yeah, he was playing at Fair State 2 years ago.
I mean, he should want to. He's going to get a guaranteed another bag of some millions.
Yeah.
Right, and an offense that works for him.
And then put yourself in contention and have some more tape out there. Is your gut feeling, is it more likely the Browns will draft a quarterback late or somewhere, or make a move for free agent?
So this is just gut feel. I believe that the Browns will trade Dylan Gabriel, and I believe they will draft a quarterback somewhere in the 30-60 range, and then they will go forward with Shador, Watson, and that new quarterback. But
30 to
this
60,
is my
okay.
gut. This is my
Like
right now.
a second-round pick.
So a second-round pick, that guy, okay. That's
Second-ish.
second-ish. So second, maybe early third.
Yes. We don't know,
Interesting.
what's Nussmeier going to look like next week at the Senior Bowl? Where is he
Right.
physically? Where is Drew Aller physically in a couple of months? Who else emerges when you see this Illinois kid next week?
Right.
When you see Sawyer Robinson from Baylor, we don't know where these guys are going to end up. But somebody's going to draft them because there's just simply not enough.
Do you think whoever's the head coach has a impact on what they do? With
Sure, it has to, right? He has to by title and by responsibility, by dynamics do it. But what kind of offense does he want to run, Gary?
Right.
And what are his feelings about you?
Yeah, that's another thing. That's a whole nother. This is tough because if Udinski and Scheelhaase don't call plays, we don't. What is their offense? What is their philosophy? We don't know.
Well, Scheelhaase was in college for multiple years and was in Shador's league for 1 year. I don't know that they played or not. We have to go look at that. But I can tell you last year in the draft process that Scheelhaase was looking at Shador because the Rams have been in the business. Like, they know Matt Stafford is no guarantee to play beyond this Sunday.
Right,
They hope he
true.
comes back. They gave him a contract, right? So there's some familiarity there. Jacksonville wasn't in the Shador business last year. Now, that doesn't mean that Udinski doesn't have a quick evaluation. And if you're hiring him, it's because of what he's done with Sam Darnold and what he helped do with Trevor Lawrence this year. But we'll see. So it's too early, but that's how I feel. Dylan Gabriel's going to Atlanta or the Raiders or something like that.
Yeah.
And Shador and Watson, because he has to be here, not because they want him to play. But then you have to bring in other competition. And maybe that's Mac Jones. Maybe it is Malik Willis. I'm not sold on those ideas, but right now we're all up. We don't have a head coach. So
Right. You can't really dive into that too much until you know who the coach is.
You going to the Senior Bowl?
I am, yeah.
You seen the quarterbacks there?
Yes.
Is there anyone that intrigues you?
Garrett Nussmeier, very much so, because I thought he would be a first-round pick before he went out, got hurt, and had a nightmare year.
Yeah.
And his offensive line was bad, and it wasn't there.
What are some of the names? Throw them out there.
It's Diego Pavia, it's Nussmeier, it's Altmaier from Illinois.
Sawyer Robinson from Baylor, Cole Payton from North Dakota State.
He's a lefty.
Taylon Green, that
Yes.
6'6" dude from Arkansas.
Yeah, he's probably a tight end, but
And they invited Carson Beck. They could have 7. He was invited.
yeah, and I think they'd probably invite Chambliss too if he wanted to do it, but I don't know that we're going to have resolution on that.
You mentioned Nussmeier. I feel like we've been talking about him for a number of years.
Throw picks.
Do you think he could be a good pro?
I think he can, sure.
Yeah.
And I think every team has to investigate that. So going down there, he's the most interesting guy to the Browns. He and Casey Concepcion, the receiver from Texas A&M, who's mocked as a late first rounder.
Okay.
Or the guys there. But obviously, you're looking at all the offensive linemen too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nussmeier's big, right?
I believe so.
6'1".
Oh, that's it? I don't know why I imagined him big.
I believe I remember 6'1".
This is the thing. We're getting real measurements on all these guys.
Yeah, that's true.
So when we go to the Senior Bowl, we get one day where we get to interview these guys. We get an hour and a half to get whoever. But the other times you have to be ready.
6'1", 205.
Right. Throughout the rest of the week, there's 2 to 7 opportunities, and you have to be ready. So I've done my homework, and I walk in that stadium, and the first thing I do is look down at the tunnel, and the first person out is Dylan Gabriel, and I immediately scratched him off the list because he was so small. And I never interviewed him, and I never wrote about him, and because I thought there's no way an AFC North team would take this.
Oh my God!
Let me start this.
I would like to have been a fly on the wall in your house when the Browns drafted Dylan
I was
Gabriel.
in the media room.
Right.
Yeah.
You must have been just lost your mind.
Sean King says this. I had him on the show the other day, and he said this, and he keeps saying it, and I don't know. He pulling me along on this string a little bit. I asked him receiver, offensive line, and he said, "Well, I'm not a big fan of moving tackles to guards if you that's what you need, and they ain't it." He said, "Also, I'm not a big fan of overdrafted receivers in the top 10." He's like, it's the only place you can get premium talent for at a discount, bottom basement prices, and you take what's available. Now, if Caleb Downs and Arvell Reese,
Arvell Reese is going too.
If they sitting around just chilling, is there any world where the Browns would draft a defensive player over an offensive player with their first pick?
There can't be. I can't say there's no world.
I mean, because I saw him trade. I saw Mason Graham get tried. I said, "What are we?"
This franchise for decades has been making the impossible possible.
Right. So,
but it's impossible.
Okay, so we on record.
So the argument is offensive tackle versus wide receiver at 6, and to that I say offensive
or a
tackle.
trade down,
or right, but just a 1-to-1.
Yeah.
If you have a top 10 grade on a receiver, maybe, but I would lean tackle.
You would take Ty Simpson, that's it?
Right now, I don't know enough about Ty Simpson, but I don't think. But the problem with waiting until 24 is the Jets need one, the Steelers need one. Somebody's going to fall in love with the kid if he's any good at all. And again, making the impossible. Maybe he's not. Maybe he'll be the pick at 24.
I can't see
Ty Simpson. I'll be like,
you like him? None of these guys who have played as little as him have been good.
No, let's be honest. Ty Simpson had a really good start. Until October 20th, he was really good.
Yeah, he was.
He was cold.
I said he was the Heisman front runner, and
he was cold.
Everybody in
Probably
Columbus was, I can't believe you said. I was like, the dude is balling.
And then
it just.
I mean,
he looks spooked out. He looks spooky. He looks scared.
I know there's not been a lot of guys that have played as little as him, but all the guys that have been total flops in the NFL.
Sure. And like I said, then that's the argument. And of course, now it comes back around because it hasn't worked at first for Mac Jones. If you really had a good system that you believe in, coach, quarterback coach, and veteran in front of him, that you could draft a guy and redshirt him and try to bring him along the right way. But the percentage that actually happens, Bull, and the percentage that it would happen here.
Oh, my God.
Right? The Browns should have drafted Josh Allen. It's the easiest thing to say.
Yeah.
Would the Browns have raised him the way the Bills did?
Probably not.
Drew Aller in the 4th round. I'm going to keep saying.
Yeah, he loves Drew Aller. Do you like him?
Based on everything I saw, there's no way to like him. But
I'm about to say,
but there's a lot of people that feel the way that Tyvis does. That
he
someone's
has all
going
the
to take a chance.
intangibles. He needs to be taught the game. That's what. And these two geniuses.
His big game performances over 3 years were just awful.
I mean, it's like I can't even find nothing to like.
It's not.
You're the only one that wants.
It's not good. But he's got a big arm and he's 6'5". And in the AFC outside in the North.
It's not going to be outside for long.
That's true, too. And he'd be even better on indoor.
Oh, they'll be on 4 more guys by the time that dome opens.
The most intriguing storyline in the entire NFL is going to be Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson training camp.
Yes, it is.
Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, and maybe another guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
Maybe 2 more guys.
We have not heard.
You need 4.
Or talked to Deshaun Watson in years.
Correct.
What do you expect that atmosphere to be like when he is actually out available playing? What is it?
Imagine being the first-year head coach of the Browns and you have to play Deshaun Watson and you go to a home game and your starting quarterback's going to get booed.
You think
You know what?
This is what they. Yes,
It
I
could
know
be
he would.
motivational.
It could be.
It's like, you know what? They gonna boo you, but we gonna get you back right.
It's-
You go out there, throw you 2 touchdowns, and throw
You
for
can't
250.
start Deshaun. You can't do it.
But they can. You're right, but
Yeah.
they can.
That's what I'm saying to you. Look, you already know who I would start Shedeur Sanders. I think that was.
I agree.
I'm starting him but the fact that Deshaun Watson is there, he's not bad enough. Like, he's not going to be that bad where he's not going to be the backup quarterback.
You're right.
yeah.
You're probably right,
Yeah.
Garrett. Like, we don't know where it's going to be, right? Deshaun could be 1, Deshaun could be 3. I think ideally you want Deshaun to be 3B, your last choice to actually play, right? And Shedeur probably is 1A or 1. He's almost certainly 1A or 1B as long as he's on the team, and there's a 90% chance he's going to be on the team, right? So who is in that middle, and what is your plan? I'm totally with you. Shedeur probably gets the first snap in May. He probably gets the first snap in July. He's probably slated for the first snap in September. Who's next? How does it go? We don't know these things. History says it could go a number of different ways.
I mean, that you got to understand. And for me, I just want to hear him say.
You need to see the clips.
No.
Do we still got the clips of Deshaun and Tag Boy?
Because they're going to ask him. I know they're going to ask him. That's the number one question. Deshaun, do you think you still a starting quarterback?
Absolutely.
Deshaun, do you feel like you lost his job because you were injured?
He gonna say absolutely.
Deshaun, why weren't you taking your rehab seriously and you had your boot off when you had torn Achilles?
Now, they won't ask that
They
question.
gonna ask that question.
But it's going to be interesting. We haven't heard from him. We'll see how it is. And I do want to see how
He handles
fans react to
You
him.
know how they go.
Nobody, he's going to get booed.
100%.
I don't listen.
Unless he plays great, and then some people will come around.
Well, the dynamic is there's a person in front of him that seems to absorb a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's not as much vitriol if you got somebody in front of you taking up all that spotlight.
Well, the ideal scenario that we can all agree on is that if Shedeur's the guy, that he's just the guy, and he plays.
Right.
He plays almost all the year. And
Yeah.
now, if it goes poorly for the team or him,
Yeah.
but you don't
Yeah.
want to be making that on October 1st like they did this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you
Right,
don't want
right,
it to
right.
be forced by some injury or some other circumstance. If you make Shedeur the guy, you want him to play until you get a full evaluation. And obviously the ideal scenario is that he becomes your starter. Now you're onto something. If he doesn't, but you don't want to have to go to Deshaun. You want to be able to go to that next guy. I just think from a dynamic standpoint, there is no way that your room can be Shedeur, Gabriel, and Watson.
No, there's no way it can be the same.
Shedeur Sanders got to go back to that too.
If they aggressively pursue Mac Jones or Malik Willis, does that mean they don't legitimately believe Shedeur Sanders is good enough to be the starter, or does it mean we need an option in case he's not, or in case he's just not ready?
It certainly means the first, but they could massage it a bunch of different ways. And you could just say, look, this was always our developmental guy. We never intended for him to start 7 games last year, which is quite obvious. They wouldn't give him a snap in practice.
Right.
So then you say he can develop. And that's what it comes down to for Shedeur. He's got a huge 5-6 months ahead in terms of getting with that coach, getting in the weight room, doing all those things, learning from the good and the bad, because they were both.
Yeah.
In almost every game, there was good. The Chicago one is the one exception.
Yeah.
And then there was the bad, especially at the end. And you can easily say, well, he didn't have much help because he didn't. So developmental quarterback, the Browns have him. They should continue to invest and develop him. And what he becomes, I think, is fairly wide open.
Everybody in there should be thinking of it as a fresh start. You got an opportunity. I think it's pivotal. Like, whatever new coach you got to come in, listen, I don't care. You got to live at his house.
Yeah.
Give me the playbook. Forget OTAs. I need to be with you today. He needs somebody to be an advocate.
Last August, Shedeur was never more than 3 feet away from Tommy Rees, who's gone, Musgrave, who's not going to be back, and Joe Flacco, who's been gone since last October. So who's he going to be 3 feet? We don't know yet.
Right, don't know.
We might know in a week. We might not. But that's what it's got to be, and they have to get him to where before they can make any decisions, let alone let him get out there and try to get better.
Is Myles Garrett in for a rebuild? Because he said that's not.
This is another question. But this is what they've done. If Deshaun's on the team, it's because he has to be, because they don't have any offensive linemen or receivers or anything else. And if Myles Garrett, when he signed that contract, like, you could trade him, but you really can't afford it on the cap.
Yeah.
So you need the best version of Myles Garrett, the locked in that you got for last year. What's he going to be? I don't know. And we can't take him for his word, because everything he said last year at this time didn't come true.
Right. And he knew what he knew what he was getting into. He knew they weren't going to be good.
100%.
You know,
He took the money.
I think he already. Listen, if anything, the sack record should hold him over a little bit. Right? Like he should. I got the sack record. I got a bag of money. I got a beautiful girlfriend.
Just keep playing great.
Let me just do some weights.
You're right. You're right.
He's
on
got
the
a beautiful
logical
girlfriend.
standpoint.
I haven't seen his girlfriend.
But what if they hire a coach who's younger than him, which Grant Udinski is, and don't have Jim Schwartz back as defensive coordinator? Doesn't that set the stage?
No, yeah, that's Schwartz. That Schwartz move is that's the only. I think it can go left if Schwartz is not.
Yeah, and right now we're in the ifs.
Here we are. Would you prefer Udinski over Schwartz if those are the two guys head to head?
Would I prefer? I don't.
I
probably because I think what's best for the team in terms of getting to respectability, which they're not near right now, is hiring a young offensive coach, letting him grow, and really targeting 27 is completing or taking the real next step in what has to be an offensive rebuild. And then if you hire this guy who's 30 or 35 and has worked in the NFL for 2 years or for 5 years, letting him grow into the role and saying realistically we are more than one off season away.
All right, I was just doing research on Myles Garrett's girlfriend there for a second. She's an Olympic snowboarder.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So she's
All right.
about to compete.
Well, let's do some more with Zach. We'll get into we briefly mentioned the Kevin Stefanski thing, so let's get back into that. Go ahead.
And Zach is sticking around for this next topic. Just a reminder, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you guys follow us on all our social media channels, X, Instagram, TikTok. You can see them on your screen at Alt Sports. Hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button costs you $0.00. Helps us out a lot, so make sure you guys do that. Make sure UCSS gets spread out to everyone it can possibly reach on YouTube. All right, we mentioned it for a second, but the Cleveland Browns, a.k.a. the Atlanta Falcons North, have reassembled their coaching staff with Kevin Stefanski, Tommy Rees, and Bill Callahan now all in Atlanta together. Bill Callahan will be his offensive line coach. Tommy Rees will be the offensive coordinator. Stefanski the head coach. And he is keeping Jeff Ulbrich on as the defensive coordinator. Bull, you said you didn't see this as a direct – I don't want to say it's a shot, but now it's a direct comparison versus scheme, schematics, and personnel. You don't see it like this?
No, I don't see it like as a shot at the Browns. I mean, I don't know. Do you see it that way, Zach?
Browns, but it's now setting up a direct Stefanski versus
No, but it's
Barrett.
not a fair comparison because he's got way more talent there than the Browns do. I mean, they're better at every position than the Browns. Like, I don't love Atlanta's quarterback situation, but Kirk Cousins he played all right at the end of last year. I mean,
well, they're cutting him.
They are going to cut him?
They redid his deal so
all
they
right,
can get out.
so he's gone. So I guess it's going to be Penix.
It's Michael Penix and whoever's next.
Yeah, I don't think much of him, but he hasn't played that much. So
I did Atlanta radio last night or 2 nights ago. They said Stefanski had 13 starting quarterbacks. I didn't process that. I know he had 12 over the last 3 years, but there was crossover. It was Flacco in 2 different years.
Right.
It was Deshaun in 2 different years.
Is Penix going to be ready?
I think so, but I mean he does have that injury history.
Yeah,
I mean he tore his ACL like 4 times,
3 times.
Well, they'll probably bring it. Maybe they go to Malik Willis, or maybe they trade for Mac Jones.
Yeah, I mean they have that big investment though in Penix, and they have him under that friendly contract for 2 more years.
So maybe. Well, but they're going to have to bring in a veteran if they're letting Cousins
He's
go.
left-handed and he's 6'2".
And maybe they're not necessarily letting him go, but the contract made it last year. It was really heavy because they had signed him to that huge guarantee right before they drafted Penix.
Yeah. Oh, so you mean they opened a spot for Dylan then, huh?
Maybe.
Oh, lefty.
Yeah.
Ready.
I still think you got to have a veteran, but anyway,
supercomputer he ages.
It's not bringing it together. Callahan and what's his name? Tommy Rees. They didn't coach together.
No.
Tommy Rees was only here 1 year.
It's just a similar Stefanski staff that he had at different parts in Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's a fair thing. But look, we've been talking since September about the construction of the Browns offense, and it was bad. And ultimately the coach took the fall.
Yeah.
But like the construction of it was awful.
Yeah.
And when you talk about 9 different starting O-line combinations and Jerry Jeudy being your number 1 receiver, like you're barely wading into how bad it actually was.
Yes.
Right? Quinshon Judkins, no training camp. Get in there and play.
Right.
Isaiah Bond, 1 week of training camp. No offseason. Yeah. Get in there and play. Right?
Yep.
Like it was bad. It was bad. It was KT Levinston.
Yes.
Get in there and play.
Zach Zenner can get on the field.
Juwan Jones got hurt, but he got benched before he lost the left tackle job before he got hurt.
He might be a center though. Zach Zenner might be a center.
And you might have to be.
I would say, listen, the upgrade on offense is evident. Like, come on, man. Like the Falcons got much better players offensively than the Browns have. So Hey, look, man, let's see what he can do with him.
Will Andrew Berry be here next in 27?
I mean, I would say if I was making the choices, I would say no. But what happened here tells me way more that he has job security than he's on a 1-year trial. The way
right. Why, if you're going to fire him next year, why wouldn't you just fire him now?
That's the way I translate
We said the
right
same
now.
thing about Kevin this
Now,
past
we
year.
are 2 months away from even seeing the beginning of how they're going to go about fixing this.
Right, yeah.
We know it needs fixed. We know multiple spots need upgrades. We know decisions have to be made on where resources go, all of that. And that's before you even get to quarterback, the most important position.
Right,
So
yeah.
a lot can change. But the way I read it, I'm with you, Bull, and we've talked about this before, tells me he has job security.
Do
Yeah.
you anticipate them getting a lot of cap space?
No, I anticipate them getting sufficient cap space to do what they have to do, and they've shown that they'll just keep kicking things down the road. They'll free up $40 million when they do the Watson restructure, which will put them in the positives.
Yeah.
And then they'll, with void years on Njoku and Batonio and some of those other guys, they can take 2 of them and push them forward. So they'll have plenty, but it won't be a crazy amount. They'll have enough to do what they need to do.
Do you? For me, I'd almost foresee. Do you think you see a trade for any marquee receiver?
I think everyone will be explored, but I don't think you're even in the category of like A.J. Brown because you're just not there.
No, it would have to be a young guy.
Marvin
And
Harrison
he makes a lot of money.
Jr.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think you in that with Keon Coleman, who's still 22 years old.
Olave.
I think that's what you would see. Olave's going to re-sign
Yeah,
a
yeah.
big deal in New Orleans.
So,
I think the Bills should trade for A.J. Brown.
Then they might.
He'd be happy
then
there.
Maybe Keon Coleman's available.
But you need that because
Keon Coleman.
I mean, I just need. I need.
But he's
I need,
not that's not what
I
we're
need
talking
some
about.
Clay. I
He's
just
not
need
a
good-
frontline
I just need
receiver.
some Clay to work with.
you need it there, but also you don't want to tip your hand. Like
Right.
you really need to dig into Jalen Tyson and Carnell Tate and know where you stand with them
Right.
before you make that move. And that move has to be made
the matchup
6 or
today?
7 weeks before the draft.
Denzel Boston versus
Yeah.
Chris Bell.
In terms of any of the veterans, you expecting any of the veterans on the offensive line to come back?
I don't expect any of them to come back. No, I'm not sure if Batonio and Conklin will ever play again. And I think Teller's on
Conklin
his way
too,
out
huh?
the door. Yeah, I mean he had the 2
Yeah.
nasty concussions.
You expect to bring back Emerson?
If they can, if Schwartz
Yeah.
is the defensive coordinator, yeah, that's the other thing. Devin Bush is going to make a lot of money. If Schwartz is the defensive coordinator, Devin Bush is back here.
Right.
If he's not, Devin Bush is probably going
somebody's
to.
pay him.
Tevin Jenkins.
Yeah, if they view him as a starting guard. The thing is,
my gosh.
Garrett, in free agency, it's a lot easier to get guards than tackles.
Yes.
So I do expect them to go get some experience on the offensive line. But let's not forget, in December they signed 3 offensive linemen off other teams' practice squads because they had to, because they just need warm bodies as options in case it doesn't go a certain way.
Right.
Casey Levinson is a backup tackle.
If that,
DeJuan Jones is only signed for 1 more year. Like
They don't have any starters on the offensive
This
line.
is
None.
going to be so interesting.
They have 3
right.
starting players. Jerry Judy's a wide receiver 2.
Harold Fannin and
Harold
Quinshon
Fannin
Judkins.
and Judkins. That's it.
and let's
And is Judkins definitely going to be ready for the start of the season?
Yeah.
Okay,
They
he'll
said
be
no
all right.
need, no 5 or 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys. Whippler, Judkins, DeJuan Jones. I mean, guys coming off injuries.
Oh, yeah.
You got some guys coming off nicked up a little bit.
Mike's got something. Go ahead, Mike.
Zach, yeah, just back to the whole Stefanski thing, and you mentioned the talent in Atlanta, which is certainly more offensive talent they have
Yeah.
in Cleveland. Do you think the system Stefanski is going to try and run in Atlanta will be anywhat similar to what we saw here the last couple of years in Cleveland, or do you think it'll go back to like the 2020,
I do.
2021?
Remember when
versions?
they had a real quarterback, Joe Flacco, in 23, and how he threw the ball to Amari Cooper? That's what they're going to do to Drake London. And by the way, they have Bijan who they can pitch it to, hand it to, screen it to. Like he's phenomenal.
So you think they'll have offensive success?
Yes.
They're going to try to dust off that screen game, that 2020 Kevin Stefanski screen game with. I mean, they got.
He's going to want to re-sign Pitts.
Oh yeah, of course. He's a
Sure.
Maybe Njoku ends up in Atlanta.
Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be kind of crazy. That'd be kind of wild.
And I don't know.
You need
we'll
to.
see. But Pitts had his best year this year, didn't he?
By far his best year.
By far, yeah.
He's going to get franchise tagged.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Which is smart with a guy like him who's only done it 1 year.
Yeah.
But he's still very young.
He's 25. Doesn't turn 26 till the middle of next year.
Yeah.
He's
They're losing him and Tyler Algier from their offense. I don't know about any of their
I mean,
offensive linemen.
Njoku.
And maybe they're losing Algier. I mean, Algier might see that as a great role, especially with Stefanski coming in.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. Although he could probably be a number 1 on some team.
Yeah, it
Where?
depends on what the market is.
I don't know.
I got a
Where
theory.
you gonna be a number one?
I got a
Washington?
theory. I feel like Pittsburgh it could be
Cardinals.
I feel like Pittsburgh might finally get it's time for them to come back to the world. Come back to the like I get your stability.
Who do you say?
It's time to come back to the rest of the world.
Steelers?
Yeah. I feel like the Steelers they are at a very pivotal place. They got an old roster. They got an aging roster. They don't really have an answer at quarterback.
Yeah, who's going to be their quarterback?
Who
next year?
like
Will Howard,
DK Metcalf? You know what I'm saying?
Buck.
They're a Malik Willis spot. They're a Mac Jones spot.
Do you think
too.
Will Howard
Ty
gets a chance to
Simpson.
compete or no?
He might. I mean, you draft him. He's on the roster.
Yeah. Wow, your guy. There.
Go Bucks.
Hey,
That was Jay's guy.
I think the only thing holding this thing together is Hayward and T.J. Watt and some bubble gum.
No,
let one of them
Highsmith.
but let one of them get hurt, and all of a sudden y'all gonna have to come back to what we all dealing with. The fact that if you ain't got no quarterback and you got an old roster, it's time to go ahead and rebuild that.
Yeah, their receiving core is really bad.
Yeah.
DK there.
Right.
Besides him, they got nobody.
So
They got
does that?
three like okay tight ends.
Pat Fryermuth and Darnell Washington.
Minimowski, Darnell Washington, they can move him to tackle. Like you might as well move
But
him.
they got Jalen Warren still.
That's
They
cool.
got the kid they drafted high, running back, didn't even play this year.
Right.
He stunk.
I already knew it.
and
And they got the guy, what's his name, the other running back from Philly they got. who's
Gainwell,
good.
he'll be a free agent.
he's a free agent, yeah.
and if you thought they was
Time
upset
for
that
them to come on down.
It's to come on back to the world. If you thought y'all was upset that the Steelers fans was mad because Tomlin was just getting to the playoffs, what that expectation level gonna look like?
I don't know.
They ain't gonna play around.
Depends
with
on who
y'all.
their quarterback is.
Yeah, it does. It does. But odds are it's not going to be somebody that is that good. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
But the Steelers, we'll see if they continue having that magic without Tomlin.
Pittsburgh going like Browns where they just
No,
never see
I
it.
need that. No, I need
They
that.
never see it
No,
again.
I need that.
You know what? It would really be a shame. I would kind of feel bad for them.
Why?
because they
bad.
What you talking about?
They didn't know.
What you mean you
Like
feel?
all of that, we want Mike Tomlin gone. Like I kept explaining, like y'all don't really want to do
I
that.
can't
I
wait
wouldn't
for
feel
them to
bad
fall
for
off.
them.
I've been waiting for
I
them to
want
fall
them
off
to be the
since
worst team in
72.
I
football.
would wish what we go through on my worst.
Oh, I do. I do. I want the Steelers to go through it. I will let the Ravens be stupid and trade
Ravens.
Lamar this offseason.
Hey, come on, listen. Hey, listen. I'm ready for y'all to
It
fall
should be
off.
wide open for your Bengals.
Well, I'd like that.
No, we ain't got no love. No, we ain't got no love for them either. They need to fall off.
You ain't
too.
got no.
Not got no love for them.
Zach, good stuff as always, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, now.
All right, Zach Jackson, Mike, take
That
it
is
away.
the great Zach Jackson. We're going to get to our next topic. It's brought to us by FanDuel. Guy, the NFL playoffs are here. It is championship weekend. Both the AFC and NFC is Sunday
Bobby, I'll
filled
touch base.
with football, and FanDuel is officially giving guys and girls ways to win extra money with profit boost packs that are waiting for them. Inside the app, you get on and find them the same way you find any of your bets on FanDuel. Just log into the app, apply your profit boost to get even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. Just visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every single playoff game day. All right, guys, I'm excited for this topic because I know G and Tyvis have been doing their wide receiver breakdown series on the Ultimate Brown Show. And in Mel Kiper Jr.'s official mock draft 1.0, he has the Browns taking a receiver at 24. We'll first show you the first 12 picks in Mel Kiper Jr.'s new 1.0 mock draft. He had Fernando Mendoza going 1 overall. Arvell Reese, the Buckeye linebacker, going 2nd overall.
Buck.
Francis Malioga, who they had the Browns taking in Dane Brugler's first mock draft, he goes number 3 to Arizona. David Bailey, the 4th pick. Cardinal Tate, the 5th pick.
Go
and they had
Bucks.
the Browns taking Spencer Fano, the offensive tackle
Is this
out of
his?
Utah.
Is this actually a mock draft or is it his rankings of players?
No, this is mock draft.
Okay, because you did. All right, yeah, I got
He
you.
didn't put the team.
It's only so many letters on this.
Gotcha.
Next
Okay.
one, 7 through 12 here. He is Reuben Bain going 7th. Jordan Tyson going to the Saints at 8. Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame, going to the
Oh,
Chiefs
I like that.
at number 9.
I like
Bowl
number
your
10.
Bengals, get Caleb Downs
Go
in this
Bucks.
scenario. Keldrick Falk, the defensive end from Auburn, goes 11. And Sonny Styles,
Go Bucks.
the 4th Buckeye in the top 12, going number 12 to Dallas. Instead of showing you all 24 picks, these are what the Browns did in this
thank God.
scenario. Spencer Fano went 6. He has 36 starts at Utah, plays both left tackle and right tackle, but played more right tackle at Utah. And then he had Zachariah Branch, the Georgia receiver, who's fast but undersized, going number 24. Branch, depending on what rankings you look at, is graded anywhere from a top 25 prospect, according to Mel Kiper Jr. He's number 23 overall on his big board.
You guys don't like Branch?
To a second or third round pick. So
We
before you give your
just-
thoughts on Branch, G, before you give your thoughts on Branch, the question I want to ask, and you could parse this out to all the receivers in this class, how many do you actually think are worthy of a round 1 pick, whether it be at 6 or 24? How many of these guys do you think are actually round 1 worthy wide receiver prospects?
3 and a possible.
You say spades.
Yeah.
Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon. We got Denzel Boston.
Denzel
tonight.
Boston.
I gotta watch it tonight.
Chris Bell.
That's 5.
That's 5. You said 3 and a possible. That's 5.
Well, 2 of them was probably going to go in the second round. We just did Zachariah Branch, and he's electric when it comes to punt returns.
Yeah.
But when you watch,
You talking about one?
no, the route
You're
tree.
not taking him in the first round.
The route tree is not there. Like he's not running.
He lost to Elijah Surratt in the competition.
Yeah, we compare Elijah Surratt to Zachariah Branch. Elijah Surratt is a much more polished receiver, runs all the route trees, can get open, does the back shoulder fade well.
Is he getting the opportunity to do these things?
Yeah, he the number one guy.
He's the number 1 guy, man. And he didn't do it at USC. I
Yeah.
told you. And he didn't do it at Georgia. He's electric. If you get the ball in his hands, you know who he reminds you a little bit of? Isaiah Bond.
I'm not taking that guy in the first round.
He's got a little Isaiah, and he's smallish, and he's a slot guy.
Let's face it. It feels like at wide receiver. I'm not an expert on this. I'm not pretending to be. Just what I've heard from you guys, from other people, it doesn't feel like there's a great pick that fits a need for the Browns at 6.
Jordan Tyson, but he hurt all the
But
time.
he's risky.
He's very risky.
You don't want to take a risky guy at 6.
If he healthy.
He tore ACL already.
If he healthy, boy.
Yeah, I mean, but
Carnell Tate.
he's twitchy. He's in space. He's dynamic. He can catch the football. He's more explosive than Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate is smooth. He's a hands catcher. He can run all the problem with Carnell Tate sometimes he doesn't play as big as he seems. Like he can get hands up a little bit. Right?
How big is he?
6'4".
About 6.
And how big is Tyson?
6'1".
He's listed at 6'2", but a little bulky.
6'2".
Yeah.
Is he clearly the better player if they're both healthy?
If you're talking, what are you looking for in a receiver? That's the question. What do you want? What do you think the Browns need as a full wide receiver? And I'll tell you who you should go with.
That's a good question.
Do you think Mekhi Lemon's in the conversation with those
If you
first
want a
2?
slot receiver, then yes.
I'm all right. He is.
But I
him.
think Jerry Jeudy's best as a slot receiver. We've talked about this before.
Don't even get
Ideally,
me started
so
on that one.
I'm looking for a guy that can, like, to me, I want a guy who can make the contested catches.
Okay.
Like those 50-50 balls.
Okay.
You know, when
So you want an outside receiver
Yes.
that can catch a 50-50 ball?
Yeah.
Carnell Tate.
Okay.
If you want a guy that you could do a little bit more with, like he'll do that, but also can
Run
you can
after-
throw,
run
you can
after
throw
catch.
the ball to him and he can get some yak.
Run out
Jordan
to catch.
Tyson.
Yeah, he's more explosive. But wait,
Who's more likely to be a superstar?
Jordan Tyson.
So I think ultimately I take the guy who's more likely to be a superstar.
But if you want to do who you just,
But it sounds like Tate's got a higher floor.
yeah, Tate is
Tate
going.
will come in right and be the
Just be a very good
he'll be
one.
an NFL pro from the moment.
Right,
he's
right
in.
there.
Is he T. Higgins or better? Tate.
That's a good comparison.
T. Higgins is probably,
That's a
you know, a
good
lot of
comparison.
teams he's a 1.
He's
He's probably somewhere between the 12th and 20th best wide receiver
Would
in the
you
league.
say he's
T. Higgins is about right.
Would you say he's
Okay.
a JV version of
Don't do that.
AJ Green?
AJ Green's one of like the all-time great receivers.
But I'm just saying, you know, like, so that's a
the
good.
T. Higgins comparison is the best one.
Or here's another
Now,
one.
but T. Higgins was a second-round pick. Probably should have been a late first-round pick.
Probably, yeah.
But
Wasn't he
not
the
a
first
top
pick-
10 pick.
Wasn't he the first pick of the second round? 33rd, wasn't he?
I don't remember. I know it was early second, but I don't. It was the same year they took Burrow, so it probably was the first pick
Who
of
was
the
the
second
dude?
round.
I'm
He was
trying.
33rd, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the dude they say who used to play for the Colts? Not Marvin Harrison.
Reggie Wayne?
Reggie Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good
He
one. too.
reminds me of Reggie
yeah,
Wayne.
That's a good one.
Excellent player.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Reggie
There's
Wayne.
no issue with it.
So, G, when you look at the overall list of receivers, Tyvis, you too, take 6 out of the equation. Tate, and Tyson off the board, I'm assuming there's no way either of those two guys fall at 24.
No.
At 24, which of these receivers we saw the first mock?
Makai Lemon will be gone too.
So to take Lemon off the board.
Yeah.
We saw Casey Concepcion mocked to the Browns at 24.
Yeah, who do you like the most besides those top three guys?
Out of the next group of guys, if they're going to go tackle or guard early, offensive line
You're not taking
early.
a guard at 6.
Well, if you think the Francis Malioga guy ends up being a guard.
If you taking a receiver at 24, it'll be a mixture between Boston, Bell, Concepcion.
What's the upside on those guys?
Yeah,
Like
Elijah Surratt is probably a second-round pick.
Yeah, because he's just not fast.
He's just not fast.
who do you guys like the most of those guys? If you had to pick
We
one.
doing Boston versus Bell tonight, which is
But right now, if you had to pick one, right now with the information you have, who are you taking?
out of Boston and Bell.
Yeah.
Or are you talking about at 24?
Yeah, but if we're taking out Lemon and Tyson and
Off the information that I know
yeah.
right now at the top of my head, I'd probably take.
Chris Bell is
Chris
more
Bell
twitchy.
has-
He's
yeah.
faster than Boston.
All right.
But
what's Bell's upside? Like, best case scenario is who's an equivalent player?
he reminds me of a little bit of a.
I tell you what, about against Miami, that dude was a.
He reminds me of a.
He had like 160 yards and
I'm
2
trying to
tugs against Miami.
He's big. He's physical. He's fast.
Yeah.
So what's his downside? Like why is he not a top 10 pick?
I don't think he's not a really defined route runner. I like to see him catch the ball better with his hands, not his body.
If y'all ain't tuning in tonight, this gonna be a good matchup.
This-
Boston and Bell.
Denzel Boston is a good route. Now, I like him, but Concepcion. The thing with this is he's an electric returner.
The only problem with that is he's got a baseball name. Sounds like he should be playing baseball with that name.
He can.
I would either go with Boston or Bell at 24.
I would. But here's the thing: if Surratt run anything, all it's gonna be his 40 time.
He ain't. No, just let it go.
I'll tell you. I know.
It go.
By the way, I know how. Obviously, the Browns are desperate to get better on the offensive line, but I don't think it's crazy to take Tyson or Tate at 6, and then take Bell or Boston at 26.
I wouldn't even trip.
And then
I don't think people would be.
And then you get 2. What I would do is I'd have what's his name, Luke Whippler play center. I would sign 2 veteran guards, and then I draft my tackles in the 2nd and 3rd round. You can get good offensive linemen in the 2nd and 3rd round. Now you don't always, but you could. That's a position.
But they say it's a weak tackle draft.
Well,
I mean, heck, the best tackle might go play guard.
yeah.
That is tough.
That's tricky, but
I would take. I wouldn't be mad at.
But you're not going to. I'm not going to kill the Browns if they. I doubt they'll do that, but it would kind of be exciting if they took 2 wide receivers in the 1st round.
And Chris Bell can.
I don't think people be mad at it, but you just.
If the tackles aren't that good anyway, why take one?
I'm telling you right now, if you go in that route, you got to take Tyson at 6.
Yeah,
because you got to get the ball out your hand now. Like there ain't none of that. I'm waiting for them to run the route.
And then you got the 38th pick. You take a tackle at 38.
I take a tackle.
So you done with Isaiah Bond?
He's my 4th receiver.
So you done with Isaiah Bond?
I never had him as higher than a 4th receiver.
And you moving Jerry Jeudy to slot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I moved Jerry Jeudy to slot. I have Bond and Tillman as my 4 and 5. They're perfectly fine in those roles. And there we go. There's my wide receiving core. And then I use 2nd round pick on a tackle. I'd get 2 veteran guards in free agency. You don't have to be superstars, a solid pro. You can on the offensive line. You don't need a superstar at every spot. You can get if you can get yourself 5 solid players and you have a middle of the road offensive line, that's okay.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like I said, I asked Mikey to tell me about those the teams that had the top offensive lines this year. Number 1 was Denver, and Denver is still going. Bills was up there. Chicago was still up there.
Well, they're out.
No, but I'm saying
Broncos
these
about
is
to be
all playoff
I hear
teams.
you, Tyvis,
Like,
but
if we don't have a top 15 quarterback, you better have a top 5 offensive line. Is my point.
What I'm saying is you can't fix every problem in 1 year, and it sounds like this is not a good group of offensive linemen.
That's why you need to take the one that you can get.
If the one guy up there is, you don't even know what position he's going to play in the NFL, I don't want to take a guy.
He plays right or left tackle.
Yeah, but they
Fano.
Well, then
Fano's played both. Mauioga
He's
is the right tackle
that's
who
gonna
may
play
swing
guard.
into guard.
Yes.
Okay, no, I'm not interested in him.
Well, he's going third. We won't have him anyways. He's going to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
But anyways, Fano, who they got us projected to get, plays tackle, left or right.
he does. He just played tackle.
And he's played significantly at both.
He has 36 career starts. He started at left tackle, played the last 2 seasons at right tackle. The other left tackle, Caleb Lomu, is also projected to be a first-round pick from Utah.
So
But here's the problem.
Here's another scenario. You take Fano at 6, and then you take Bell and Boston at 24 and 30.
But he got they played against Texas Tech and they got dog walked.
Yeah.
They was
Well,
looking-
David Bailey is a
I
dog.
mean, I
you see
get
he
it.
Going fourth, picking
Who got dog walked?
them tackles from Utah.
All right, I'm out on that now.
David Bailey.
they
is,
would-
So you don't like
but David
Mauioga at the
Bailey
guard.
is
You
good.
don't
Let's
like the
face
two
it, you
tackles.
can't trust a player from Utah.
I agree with that
Utah's
statement.
a shady
actually.
state.
They Texas
I
Tech
agree
came down
with
there and
that.
it was not cute, bro.
But David, but you're not about to
But
sit here and act like
weirdos.
David.
Utah-
but
people
Texas,
from Utah
David
did that
to
Bailey is
Oregon.
literally going fourth pick.
Texas Tech did that to Oregon too, so
Yeah.
they're very good up front.
Yeah.
But if you want an apples comparison, it's one of them things where we keep talking about it. Like we're like, man, the Browns they get these high picks in these drafts, and the things that you need,
It's terrible that
know.
year.
you
Well, last year they blew it because they could have had Dart or
yeah, they could have had some different things. But it's going to be very interesting. It comes down to the 40 time. Elijah Surratt's going to run a 4.6.
That's a fact.
And
4.6?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
sad,
He's
too.
going to run a 4.6.
He's a good player. He
Are there
just
any
slow.
really good slow receivers?
Like in the NFL?
Yeah.
Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
Is he a 4.6?
Mike Evans slow.
He probably 4 or 5 high.
Yeah, Mike Evans ain't crazy fast.
Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer.
But he's
he's four-
6. He's 6'4".
Right.
6'5",
What's Surratt?
jumps out
Yeah,
the
they-
roof.
yeah,
Surratt
he
is
does.
like
Have
6.
y'all seen his basketball highlights, by the way?
Actually, I have.
Who, Mike Evans?
Yeah,
He
he
was
actually can hoop.
a dog.
He actually can
Oh,
hoop.
I never seen
Any basketball. Well, Keon Coleman, you supposed to be nice. You play basketball like any basketball player.
Antonio Gates.
You get him for the low.
Yeah,
You get
is
him
there
for the low.
there's a couple of dudes that I'm willing. You said this earlier. I would make the trade for Marvin Harrison Jr. It's time. It's
Yeah,
time
but you're going to have to
bring
give up a first-round pick.
a
no?
first round.
Why?
I still think you have to give a first round for him.
Really?
That late first-round pick.
I don't know about
You'd
that.
I
make
don't
that
know.
trade,
I
wouldn't
think
you?
24 could get him.
Well, again, think about it. If you're Arizona,
Why would you trade?
why would you trade him for a late pick? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, and plus you need something to throw to.
They got Michael Wilson.
but you need more.
You need more than one. I mean,
than
McBride's.
Come on, we're trying to
They got
stockpile
Trey
here.
McBride.
We're
Michael
trying to
Wilson.
stop. We're trying to fleece somebody right now.
Yeah.
We're trying to fleece somebody up out of their goods.
Yeah.
So
I definitely
last
picked
thing
the
on this
phone
real
over
quick.
there.
This has actually been really informational. And G, what time are you doing your show tonight?
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
6 o'clock. I'm gonna give you some other names at receiver we haven't mentioned yet. I'll ask G.
Chris Brazzle.
Well, yeah, he's on the list.
Okay.
But I'll ask G. I want your 2 cents on it, and Ty, I want your 2 cents on it. We're going
All
to
right.
run through the rest of the receivers who, in theory, could be in play at that range, whether it's late first round, early second round, day 2-ish. We've already mentioned Cardinal Tate, already mentioned Tyson. Makai Lemon. I know you said real quick you think he's gone early,
Yeah,
but
he'd be gone,
is
but-
he by far the best slot in the draft?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not even close.
He's physical. He's
He
just
run good routes. He's like Amon-Ra St. Brown.
It's like his cousin.
Yeah.
Like it's just like the same person. He's the exact same person. Catch the ball with his hands.
Love having an Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You're gonna put him in
Browns
here.
could have had him.
You're gonna put him in here, and they're gonna say, draft Makai Lemon on your board for fantasy because
Yeah.
he's just gonna continue. Yeah, he's nice.
He's nice.
Because he'll probably also end up on a much better team than the other two guys.
He will, and you'll be like, who is this guy?
I will be looking to take him in fantasy next year.
Yes. Next.
All right, KC Concepcion, real quick.
I'm
thoughts
out,
on
I'm
KC
out on
Concepcion.
him at 24. He's fine later in the draft. He's a good returner. He made some big plays at receiver for them, but it's not consistent. enough
Casey
for
or
me.
Kevin?
His name
It's
is Kevin.
It's
but
Kevin.
They call
He
it
goes like
KC.
KC
Oh, I
Concepcion.
see.
He is slight of frame, a good returner. He's not gonna get off press coverage. He's not one of them. He's not gonna run the whole route tree. He's not an outside receiver. He's a slot guy.
Yeah.
He can double as a punt returner. He's probably one of the best punt returners in the draft. So he might get overdrafted because of that.
Yeah.
But for the Browns, you kind of already have that in Isaiah Bond type.
If the best thing you have to say about a receiver is he's a good returner, I'm not taking him in the first round.
he's
he's in the open field. He's
fine,
great, but
yeah.
he's not. He's not.
Yeah, but
no,
it's hard to be in the open field in the NFL too often.
You can get him in the second or third round. You know what I'm saying?
Jeremy Bernard out of
He a
Alabama.
beast.
Now
He
You're a
beat.
fan, Tyvis?
Yeah.
He a beast. He nice. He was going against Chris Brown, so he beat him in the second catch of the highlight. It was ridiculous.
He is physical.
Yeah, he's
he's
all right right there.
He's a physical runner, and he's a guy that defensive backs do not want to tackle in the open field.
He built like a running back, like lower body wise. He got strong legs.
Yeah. Like and the thing about him is he does a lot of his work over the middle. He has good hands, and
he's a possession receiver.
It's all about him. If he runs a 4.5, I think he's going to be one of them dudes. He reminds me of Anquan Bolden a little bit.
That's exactly who he looks like.
Good NFL player.
Very good, yeah.
All right, Mike.
We got 2 more.
Oh, boy.
Brazel. You mentioned him, Tyvis.
3rd round pick.
Sounds like a candy.
Nice red zone threat. 3rd round pick. Faster. He actually like Cedric Tillman.
But faster. He's a faster Cedric Tillman.
He like Cedric Tillman.
He's Cedric Tillman with talent.
But we do not like receivers from Tennessee.
No,
because him, Cedric Tillman, what's the dude?
Jalen
Hyatt. They run them wide splits. The offense.
You got to teach them.
You got to teach them whole route tree.
Yeah.
No.
Next.
All right, last one. Jacoby Lane out of USC. Have you guys looked at Jacoby Lane's tape yet?
We have not gone over Jacoby Lane, but they have him as a dude.
He made me sick because he was supposed to be.
He was supposed to be better than that, bro. He underwhelming, I would say. He's underwhelming because he was supposed to be that deal, and then Mekhi Lemon came along.
Yeah, that's really what happened.
I'm him. He's the reason USC was underwhelming.
Yeah. He was a beast in the red zone 2 years ago, not last year.
Side note, I lived on Jacoby Lane once.
That's crazy.
He was a beast 2 years ago in the red zone.
That's crazy.
Mike.
With what's that dude named Miller Moss was the quarterback at USC.
He was at Louisville this year, throwing to Chris Bell.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right.
All right. So 6 o'clock tonight. 6 o'clock. Ultimate Brown Show. G. Bush, Tyvis Powell. They're going to compare some of the receivers we just talked about. Give you some more insight.
Denzel Boston, Chris Bell.
Denzel Boston versus Chris Bell. Let's put a chat.
Can we draft another Bell?
Who do you like right now? Denzel Boston or Chris Bell?
Do we know if Denzel Boston is related to David Boston?
He's his son.
Ah. So good bloodlines there.
Very
Good
good
bloodline.
Chris, wait, say that again.
He's related. I asked you
Like
about this
D.
yesterday.
David, like
It's his
Ohio
son.
State Davis Boston?
Yes.
David Boston, that was 266.
Does that put it over the top?
Yeah.
That he's a good
He
bloodline?
lifted himself out the
Bro,
league.
I ain't never seen a man
Yeah,
that
that's
just
true.
get 266. Hey, 6'3" David Boston, 260. I'm like, bro, you
260?
with abs and 2% body
he was
fat.
jacked.
It was crazy.
That's crazy. He didn't. He didn't get no old state offer. That's pretty messed up.
All right, Bull.
Yeah.
We're going to talk Cavs for a sec.
Okay.
Be honest with me.
Yes.
You watched the game yesterday. They played the
Tell you
Hornets.
something.
No. There's a reason why. I'm
Not
hoping the
only
answer's
did
no.
I watch the game,
Oh, you
I
did?
was No, of course I didn't
Okay.
watch the game. Are you kidding me?
I can't believe I'm saying
I shouldn't
good.
say that. I probably should. It is. I do have some bare responsibility in watching it, but
You
when
didn't
they
watch-
play a terrible team, I'm not going to watch
didn't
it.
For the
watch
sake
them-
of this, I'm glad you didn't watch it because
Yeah.
I want to show you Evan Mobley highlights from the first half, Bull. And I want you to tell me
Hilarious.
what you see from Evan Mobley in the first half last night against Charlotte.
He's
Steve,
hilarious.
take this full and let's play it. Bull, give me some play-by-play on this Evan Mobley.
All right, Evan Mobley takes it to the free throw line, spins in the paint, and jams it home. Evan Mobley for 2. Mobley now, again with the right hand. Oh, nobody can handle the incredible stylings of Evan Mobley.
Stylings.
Dean Wade, the Amish man himself, to Mobley. He drives the baseline, and he jams it home for 2. Here comes Mobley again in the paint. Turnaround jumper, the hook with the right hand. Oh, it's good for 2. And Evan Mobley is killing the Charlotte Hornets once again for 2.
4-2.
But what do you notice from Evan Mobley? These are all from the first half, by the way, and it's just a
Does
finish.
Charlotte even have a center?
Ryan Kolkbrenner a little bit. They're more of an undersized team. That's fair. But
I mean, he was taking the ball to the basket aggressively, obviously.
that's the best version of Evan Mobley.
Yeah. Well, he does that against scabby teams.
He finished
doesn't
the
he?
game with 16 points.
He didn't score. You just saw all his points. They were all in the first
Oh,
half.
that was it?
Did not score in the second half.
Finished the game with 16 points.
16 points. All.
Did he not
He
play?
had like 14
Well, the game
boards,
was a blowout, though.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Well, it was a blowout. Then they came back. Then before you know it, with like
Everybody-
22
teams
seconds.
always come back.
When it was like 22 seconds left, it was like a 4-point, maybe 6-point
Yeah,
game. They almost blew it. Like
And he
tried
didn't do
to trick
anything
it
in the
off.
second half. How much
He
did
had
he play?
14. He had 14 points in the first half.
Zero
in the second half. He did have 14 rebounds last night.
Oh, that's good.
I will say, we have gone back and forth over Mobley's ceiling, what he can, what he can't do, what the Cavs have asked him to do, how they've put more responsibility offensively on his plate, then they've pulled it back, and they've done the whole circular, what can't he do? I still don't think Evan Mobley's where he needs to be at from a creation standpoint if he's starting from 25 feet from the basket and the Cavs are saying, go create something. When he catches, and you can play those highlights again, Steve, when he catches with the head of steam going downhill, it's by far the best version of Evan Mobley.
But we just don't get it. There's no consistency with that.
And that's what I'm trying to
I mean, look who's guarding him here. He's got a bunch of slappies guarding him, it looks like.
That was LaMelo. You have said
LaMelo's a slappy.
But we need the Cavs.
How tall is LaMelo?
6'7".
6'7".
6'7"?
Hey, they got him on a switch. It's good offense. That's the whole point of switching. But, Bull, to my point, the Cavs need to find a way to generate more offense to where Mobley's catching the ball coming downhill and going downhill.
Of course
and already
they
in attack mode, which they don't do nearly enough of now. That's a criticism on how they've orchestrated the whole offensive system they've created.
So why is it that they're unable to do that, guys? Why is it that – is it Evan Mobley's fault?
Well,
is it his teammates' fault? Is it the coach's fault? Why is he so inconsistent? Obviously, some of it's his fault.
It's very evident. It's very evident. If you know basketball, there's what makes a good basketball player or offensive player is a few things. First and foremost, how tight is your handle? If you can't handle the ball, you can't.
There's a limit to how good you can be.
You can't get to where you want. You can't get to your points, right? You can't get to your spots. Second of all, do you have the quickness on the first step to threaten people that you can blow past somebody? If you can't blow past somebody, I'm closing out on you slow. And then the third is, well, okay, if you're going to close out on me slow, am I a knockdown shooter? Because if you close out hand down, man down, I'm knocking this down. He's shooting 31 from 3. So it puts you 31%. So it puts you in a position where my handle's not good enough to get where I need to go on the floor.
Right.
I can't threaten you with speed and agility to blow by you. And I don't make you pay if you close out slow.
So he doesn't have any of those three things.
So if you don't have those three traits, you're going to have very inconsistent games. Now, bad teams like the Hornets will switch on Evan Mobley and have LaMelo Ball on you. And of course, that's barbecue chicken.
Isn't his career high against the Charlotte Hornets?
Yeah.
Mike, is G right that he doesn't have any of those three things, and so thus he's always going to be inconsistent offensively?
I heard the handle part, and then I was answering a text from Steve Becker, so I missed part.
He doesn't.
I mean, Steve, you can't be texting Mike in the middle of the show.
The handle part's true.
The handle,
inappropriate.
The handle, and then he's not, in terms of a lightning quick twitch athlete, he's not a guy that can quick first step blow by you. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have that. So
that depends on the defender. The ideal with Mobley is at 6'11", 7 foot, he should be able to get past bigger defenders.
But I'm closing out on him reluctantly. I'm not going to be all up on him.
If he was a 3-point shot,
if he was knocking them threes down,
and then if he was knocking the threes down. So now if I'm guarding Evan Mobley, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make him put the ball on the court 3-4 times, and he does not have a really pet move. So now it's a bunch of dribble, spin back other way, dribble, cut back, spin back, pump fake. Nah, by that time I got help side, and I don't feel confident in you gonna knock that down. So you're going to have a lot of times where it's like, okay, if he's not hitting that jumper, he just doesn't. And by the way, when you talk about offense is about creativity a little bit. It's about how you paint pictures and how you the moves come naturally to you. And people who are natural scorers just have the ability to get buckets.
It's a good point. He is not a natural
he's not
scorer.
He's not a natural guy. If you put it like Jalen Brunson, he's short. He's gonna get where he gonna get to, and it don't matter on whoever. And I'm Kyrie. I'm gonna get to here. I'm gonna finish over here, up in there, over to my head. Those guys can. Some people is not talented, just gifted naturally players, right? Like if think about, and this is a bad comparison. Think about how creative Akeem Olajuwon was. Think about how the Dream used to give you, like. his Evan Mobley ceiling to me is a David Robinson type game.
No,
I mean, that's a pretty high ceiling.
Offensively.
I mean, that's a damn good offense.
I mean, David Robinson was really good, though.
David Robinson, like
I don't think Evan Mobley's going to be.
David Robinson developed.
Marcus Aldridge.
He developed that elbow. He developed. Okay, I can give you something here or there, but it wasn't like David Robinson had the same package as an Olajuwon. Olajuwon can get it any way he wanted.
Olajuwon was.
It's different.
He was
If
unbelievable.
you're too young, you don't. Well, did you even see him play?
I know he bust Shaq.
Hey man, no.
The Dream Shake.
He was the man.
Maybe the best post footwork ever.
But I'll tell you, the most underrated big man of all time, in my opinion, even though he played in a big market, is Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing's
a bum.
His Patrick Ewing's
15
to 17 foot. So back then, in that era, 15 to 17 foot jumpers. I'm going back. Moses Malone, automatic. Patrick Ewing, 15 to 17. You let him shoot that on automatic. Karl Malone, you let him shoot that automatic. Like
Patrick Ewing in college, he was cold as ice.
Yeah, Patrick Ewing in college was the first dude people was trying to tank for.
Yeah,
they was trying to lose for Patrick Ewing.
Yeah,
he was that.
Teams were scared to play Georgetown in those days.
Yeah, they were great.
Those are fun teams. That's what the Big East was.
What are you talking about?
I just like messing with you.
I like Patrick Ewing. Even though he never played for a team I liked, I hated Georgetown because they were a rival of St. John's.
And you hated the Knicks.
I didn't hate the Knicks, but I wasn't a fan.
Hey, hold on.
What are we holding on about?
Hold on. Disrespectful.
What's disrespectful?
Let me just pull that back. Sorry, Admiral. I'm
the
sorry.
Admiral, you were downplaying his offensive game a little.
Admiral, disrespectful.
Yeah,
let me take that back.
Yep.
David Robinson. Let me just give you this word.
Man.
David Robinson came in as his last year was averaging Evan Mobley stats.
Is he the last person to record a quadruple double?
I don't know.
Think so. And we put it up.
David Robinson averaged 1 year 30 points a game.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very different offensive
30 and 10. Ooh.
Very different.
Mobley can't shine his shoes.
And he might not be David Robinson is probably a better defender than him.
David Robinson was awesome. He just got overshadowed a little bit because Tim Duncan came, and then Tim Duncan was even better.
Duncan's better.
And when they had the twin when
they had the two of them together.
David Robinson was like a legit back to the basket post up.
Yeah.
Did not move or kind of alleviate outside the paint.
But he was great. He was a great rebounder. He was a great defender.
I'm saying that I don't know if I love that comparison to how Mobley plays.
Maybe body type. Maybe he's
not Robinson was like a blow-up muscle suit.
Well, when you talk about
shoulders that were
David Robinson would kick the living crap out of Evan Mobley. Even now, probably.
He'd kick the crap out of everyone in the NBA right now.
I don't know about LeBron, but
maybe.
Yeah.
Back to Mobley though. When he catches with a head of steam going downhill and is able to, for whatever reason, some nights he can and some nights he doesn't, and some halves he does and some halves he doesn't, last night being the perfect example. And he did score 1 point in the second half. I should apologize. He had 1 point in the second half.
That's a terrible job out of you.
See those 13 field goal attempts? 11 came in the first half.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And
that's
yes, Charlotte started to pack the paint more to kind of take that away and force the Cavs to shoot more threes in the second half. But that's the most frustrating part of the Evan Mobley experience right now. You still see it in spurts. And go back to the highlights, Steve, 389. Some of these moves, for a 7-footer, I don't care if he's going against someone 6'7", 6'2", whatever, to spin tight in a clogged paint like that and be able to finish, whether it's over LaMelo without a real shot blocker or not, like that's a real move. That's the advantage
I
the
hear
Cavs
you. It's also terrible defense, Mike. Come on.
That's actually not that bad a defense.
What does he do? He just stood there. Let him run by him.
Run it back, Steve. Start from the beginning. He spint off him, and Miles Bridges, who's an incredible vertical athlete, standing under the paint.
No, not that play. This one. This one.
Yeah, he spins off him and dunks over a defender. Once again, exposing the fact that he's not a ball knower. But that's the frustrating part of Mobley. We can see glimpses of this, and then it just completely disappears an entire second half where he's a zero
ball knower.
non-factor.
That's crazy. That's pause worthy.
Wasn't that one of the terms we said was being overused?
What did I say?
Ball knower.
Yeah, we go.
Well, I said you're not a ball knower.
I'm not a ball knower.
So
it's very insulting.
For this, hey, look, that's nice for a 7-footer.
Yeah.
But
I like to see him do that against 7 foot.
That's it.
You
got to do that.
He went out
You got
there
to do
with
that.
the mindset.
You got to do that against Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, he
you got
went
to
out
do
there
that
with
against
the mindset like I'm bigger than
Evan
everybody, so I'm
Mobley
gonna show it.
is what he is. He's not going to get better. We all know this at this point,
I agree.
right?
I'm not saying he is. I'm saying that's what's
He's
frustrating.
regressed from last year.
Trade him.
I don't think he's regressed. I think we expected more, and he's basically copy and paste from
Is
last year.
he averaging less points per game?
Yes.
Trade him.
By like he was 18.5 last year, and he's 17.9
point a game down.
this year. Yeah,
That's
can't make
82 points a year.
If he can make free throws, which is inexcusable how his free throw percentage has dropped, he'd be averaging more points. He just is shooting 60% from the free throw
I mean
line, it's literally inexcusable.
So his game has gone downhill a little bit.
I think it's a copy and paste, but whatever. It's not taking the step forward the Cavs needed.
His 3-ball went down, didn't it?
Sometimes
It's once again it's about the same.
Sometimes you are who you are. Like sometimes people got ceilings. That's why there's caps to certain people's games. Like you look at him, Ben Simmons. He was the best he was ever going to be in college. Sometimes you peak.
Colin Coward said he was better than LeBron.
I mean, Ben Simmons. If you go back and look at Ben
Simmons made 2 All-NBA teams.
But Ben Simmons, what I'm saying is Ben Simmons in college was willing to shoot. He got to the league and was like, "No, I'm done with that shooting."
Not right away. Didn't that happen after a couple of years?
Yeah,
I mean, he was willing to go back and watch.
Anybody that anybody that thought he was going to be better than LeBron had to be. That has got to be the worst.
That was absurd.
The worst take of all time. There was no chance that was possible.
It's kind of revisionist history, but Ben Simmons was one of the best prospects that we've seen.
No, but LeBron was the best prospect.
I'm never comparing nobody to LeBron.
That was a ridiculous thing for him to say.
Wemby and LeBron are in a class of their own in terms of prospects. Like one of one and one of one.
LeBron was better in high school than Ben Simmons has ever been.
I actually think
that might be true.
I actually think Durant is under because.
Yeah, because he's so hateable.
But Durant,
so he's underrated.
Durant is the most lethal. Like you can't stop nothing he want to do. If he's just making it, you're done.
I'm taking Larry Bird over.
You know who else was like that? Carmelo Anthony.
He didn't win anything.
Carmelo
Durant didn't win anything.
Carmelo got a deep bag too. Carmelo got a deep bag offensively.
Who are you taking?
Paul Pierce said he was like
Larry
that.
Bird or Durant?
All time?
Yeah.
Larry Bird or Durant?
Yeah.
Probably Larry.
Any day of the week.
Larry or Durant?
Who is more skilled?
I might take Durant. I ain't gonna lie. Well, I didn't see Larry play, so I can't really.
Who's more skilled?
I would say Larry Bird.
No.
Durant's the most skilled scorer of
all
time.
time.
But he's not the playmaker.
That's a lot. That's
rebounder
cap.
Larry was.
That's the biggest cap I've ever heard.
What's the biggest cap?
That Durant is the best skilled scorer of all time.
He is.
No,
It's not.
How do you determine that?
Kyrie Irving.
No.
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving per inch. Per inch is the best
pound
scoring.
for pound, he's one of the best scorers.
He's the best ever.
But
Kyrie Irving.
Well, maybe not the best ever, but one of the best.
He's up there for
He's
sure.
a better finisher than Durant.
Kevin Durant.
He ain't a better shooter than Durant.
Kevin Durant is 7 feet, and he rises up on anybody. You're not getting to it. You might as well stay in
That's a
rarefied
lie.
air. Nobody's getting to that.
I've watched Russell Westbrook block him multiple times.
If Durant,
He's never led a team to a championship, though.
No.
For his career, we'll talk Guardians in one sec, but this is absurd.
yeah,
So
thank
Durant's
you.
played, this is the 18th season,
Yeah.
right? 18.
Yeah.
He missed 1 year, so this is
He's
17
Ain't
plays.
he over
50%
50% from the field?
He is 50.2% from the floor, 39% from 3, and 89% from the free throw line.
Get out of here.
89%?
Over an 18-year career,
What you say he
He's-
was for 3?
39%. He's basically
He
a 50
almost 50-40-90.
for his career. He's the most
And he
skilled-
shoots
All-time great.
And he shoots
Skilled
mid-range
scorer
jump. Kyrie can get to the
What's
rack.
Kyrie's number? That's ridiculous.
And-
That man 50-40-90.
And Kyrie can get to the rack and lay the ball up.
Kyrie 50, 40, 90?
No, I don't think so.
For his career, Kyrie is 47.4% from the field.
Which is amazing considering Durant is 7 feet.
Yeah, well,
To
Kyrie,
be 47.5% at
What's
whatever.
Kyrie, 6'2"?
Not even.
6'3".
Oh, he's 6'3"?
He's,
But to have a career field goal percentage of 47% when you're 6'3",
That's ridiculous.
that's pretty amazing.
And with your wingspan, and he got unlimited range.
What's his 3-point?
he's 39% from 3 as well,
Dang.
and 88%, 89% if you round up.
All right, so he's
So-
right. He's
Right
pretty close.
there.
But the cheat code is Durant is 7 foot with the wingspan of a pterodactyl.
And
I'm
Durant,
with G on this one.
Durant, it's hard to compare
But
the
still,
players.
Kyrie don't
Durant's
have
also
none of
been
that,
much
and his
healthier.
numbers is comparable.
Yeah.
Kyrie's on the list of the all-time great scorers. I'm not debating
No doubt.
that. I just
But
think
the-
Durant
but he's been
is
injured
number
a
one.
lot.
But you
That-
taking Larry Bird over him?
Who,
Over Durant. Yeah.
In terms
I
of
would.
an overall player, yeah,
I would.
think
I bet a lot of young people would not, but
I didn't. Like I said, I didn't see Larry, so I can't really.
I can't
argument.
disrespect Bird, man. I can't do it. But Durant, I mean, he not taking no backseat to nobody. Like, if you want to talk about scorers, that's the thing about basketball. I'm not. You can say who you like. It's a preference thing. Like,
I think,
but he ain't taking a backseat
like
to nobody.
in this era, Kevin Durant's going to be better. If you played with the rules in the '80s, Larry Bird's going to be better. So I don't know. I mean, listen,
they're two of the best small forwards in the history
ever.
of the world.
Two of the
They're
best players.
top
Two of the 20
15
best
guys,
players in the history of the sport.
Two top 15 guys.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's talk some Guardians for a sec. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You can find the handles on the screen. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Costs you no money, no cents. Helps us out a lot. All right, Bull.
Yeah.
Let's talk some Guardians.
Yeah.
If Cleveland does not make any more moves, and they go into next season with the exact lineup, however you want to project the lineup,
Yeah.
but as it would be today, assuming health, what's the Guardians' ceiling? How
hope-
good can this team be if they don't add somebody else, particularly another bat to the lineup?
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll see a transaction involving the Guardians, but in fact, there's been none today.
He was disappointed as hell. Damn.
What is the question, Mike? What's their ceiling?
What's their ceiling if they don't do anything else? If they go into the season and start the year with this current offensive
Yeah,
unit as
I think what's the current ceiling of the offense or the team in general?
both. I want both.
So the ceiling for the team is actually the ceiling, like best case scenario, is actually pretty high because the Guardians will have a number of really good players, or at least a number of really players that have really good potential. Now, obviously, they've had very little luck with young hitters in recent years, so there's every reason to believe that these guys won't reach the potential that we have for them. However, Manzardo had a good season last year. He was a good major league player. All right, I expect him to be better this year. He might not. Baseball is less linear than most sports. There's a lot of up and down. So maybe he takes a step back, but I'm not expecting that. I think, Earl was asking me before the show, who's the best player of all the young players? And I said, well, Chase DeLauter's definitely their best player of, I won't include Bazana because he's not been in the big leagues yet. But Chase DeLauter's their best young player that's been in the big leagues. He has major injury issues. It's hard to believe he's going to stay healthy. But I think he can. I think he can be definitely a Rookie of the Year candidate if he stays healthy this year. He is going. I assume he's going to be on the major league roster to start the season. I assume C.J. Kayfus will be. I assume George Valera will be. So there's plenty of upside between Kayfus, Valera, and DeLauter. And if they all reach their potential, then the offense can turn out to be at least solid. Now, to be realistic, to expect that is unlikely. The odds of all three, having very good seasons is a slim chance. 1, 2, maybe. 1, yeah. I think if DeLauter's healthy, he's going to be really good. I think the other two guys, we'll see. They could. I think the realistic best case scenario is Manzardo takes another step forward, goes from pretty good player to real good player. That DeLauter stays healthy, and if he does, I think he'll have a Rookie of the Year type of season. And that Kayfus and Valera can be, decent starting major league players.
Where are you at?
And that would be a lot better than what they've had the last few seasons.
Where are you at with Rocchio and Arias?
I have no faith in Rocchio or Arias. I like Rocchio a little more than I like Arias. I am completely done with Arias.
Yeah, me too.
I don't
messed
like
me up on me being featured on Ultimate Guardians.
Man.
And don't be shocked. I'll tell you this right now. Don't be shocked
I'm already shocked.
if Stephen Kwan gets traded in the next month.
That wouldn't shock me at all.
For prospects or for a ready-made player?
Oh, prospects.
For
prospects.
prospects.
You know how we do.
Hey,
But I tell you this, there's obviously they didn't spend in free agency.
They're gonna send them to Seattle.
The only money they spent on offensive player was Austin Hedges once again.
This year?
Yeah, that's it. They've spent, $10 million this offseason roughly on a few relief pitchers and Austin Hedges. There's only one big-time free agent hitter still available. That's Eugenio Suarez, who could hit 40 home runs here. He's not a great fit position-wise, but he's a veteran. He's a right-handed hitter. He's got big-time power. This is a good hitter's park, or at least a decent hitter's park. I think he'd fit. Again, not great position-wise because he's a third baseman, but I'd sign him and DH him, but they won't do that. I think if they're not going to do that, I'd at very least like to see them sign an Austin Hayes or a Harrison Bader. I think those guys are professional, starting caliber major leaguers who can play the outfield.
They're
not great, but
are we going to win our division?
are the Guardians going to win the division? I think they got a decent chance, yes.
Okay,
so I don't like the division.
Who's the biggest at the Tigers?
The Tigers and the Royals are both pretty good, but the Tigers overachieved early in the season. They're obviously not as bad as they were in the team in the last month. But another thing, this is a long shot, but I also don't think it's insane that Tarek Skubal could be traded in the next month.
So let me.
And if he's traded, the Tigers take a huge step back.
Y'all tell me if I'm tripping on this.
Yeah.
As y'all was sitting here talking.
Yeah.
All my vitriol about, why they spending money and not spending no money, it just went away because I just got it. It hit me. Dawned on me.
They waiting on the salary cap.
No, there's no urgency in baseball to be perennial winners.
To be perennial winners?
I think I compare.
There is for some teams.
I compare it to we all do fantasy leagues, right?
Yeah.
There's certain fantasy leagues where you put more money in and you really want to win those leagues and you're on it. Then there's your fantasy league that's like keepers.
Yeah.
So it's a long play.
Yeah.
You've been in with guys that's 30 years or however long, got a bunch of buddies.
Yeah.
It's a hobby. And to me, I look at it like, hey, if you're in because I was listening to Earl talk about it. If you in Cleveland, you're going to go, we look at it as the Browns, we use passion, we argue back and forth. The Cavs, okay, we won a championship, they're supposed to be good. We'll tune in when Cavs is good, and we'll give them vitriol too. But the Guardians, they're never going to get no vitriol.
I don't agree with that at all.
Because
Boy just said fire everybody.
I'm
talking about for the fan base.
There's a lot of fans that get pissed.
I feel like because it's a reset every year. We get to a point where we may be mad, then they make the playoffs. So any ill will you had last year, right?
Yeah.
Is that ill will
I think
crossing over?
I think once the season starts, you always want to give your team a benefit of the doubt. Where was the ill will for the Browns when the season started? Tyvis is saying 8-9.
No.
As the season goes and they stink, then the ill will builds up
There's
again.
running baggage for the Browns, though. We keep that.
But here's the thing. The Guardians, to some degree, even with their lack of spending, have built up goodwill, deserved, because they're consistently in the postseason.
Right. So it's a reset.
But there is a lot of frustration amongst the fan base. The fans of the Guardians are more frustrated now than they've been in a long time because the team has been so close so many times, and it feels like there's no commitment for the owner to go for it when they have a chance. And they've been in the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years, despite the fact that they've spent no money. Part of it's the division, that the division isn't very good, but, I don't agree that fans are not passionate or don't get angry about it.
No, I'm not saying that they're not passionate. What I'm saying is they're in this conundrum, right?
Yeah.
Because they are more successful and they do more with less. They always put themselves in a position that you say, well, how bad can I really kill them?
Well, okay, maybe how bad can I kill him? But
I can't
you
kill
don't think people are going to be pissed off if they trade Stephen Kwan next week?
No, we'll be upset. But what'll happen is what the Guardians do, they'll trade him and then mess around and make the playoffs again, and you'll be like, well, did we really need Stephen Kwan, right? Because we got rid of Naylor, right? We moved on from...
Well, but they, ultimately, they haven't won the World Series.
Right, and I think in certain markets, what I'm saying in certain markets, if you are consistent and you put a decent product on the field and you give them a good product to watch, it's a very good, one of the best products that you look at in terms of going to see a game. It's more affordable. They like it. It's a beautiful.
Well, don't you think it'd be the same for the Browns?
No.
For a lot of fans, yeah.
No, the Browns must win.
Win.
The energy with the Browns.
Why do people all the time? People say, "I'd love to be the Steelers." I hear that all the time.
Well, obviously you would love to beat them after a time, and then you're going to want to have.
No. But they've talked every time people say, "Well," you hear fans all the time say, "Oh, I'd love to just be good every year."
They got 6 Super Bowls to lean on, though.
No. But I'm talking about fans here saying that.
I mean, but we look at them because listen, in
the end, like obviously there's more people in Cleveland that are passionate about the Browns than the Guardians, but I think the percentage of Guardians fans is frustrated. A high percentage of them are frustrated, and they're not okay with the team just being competitive every year.
No,
it's not enough. Now they'll defend the team on some level when people say stupid stuff like Jimmy Haslam's the best owner in Cleveland. But I think there's a ton of frustration. It's just there's not a lot of Guardians talk in this town, and there's certainly not in the offseason because they never do anything to warrant conversation. So we don't hear from the fans as much.
So my thing is, I guess this is a conversation we kind of going around. Like it's kind of like if you know, like because this was a place where baseball thrived. Mm-hmm. This is a place where it thrived and you sold out a stadium. Like, right, I get the perfect storm, but it's almost like
the Browns weren't gone for all of those years.
Yeah, they weren't. And so my thing is, I think we're in a position that ownership believes like, okay, well, if I could still make the playoffs and I still don't have to put out this much expenditure, under what circumstances would they ever decide to put more money back in? Because to them, the results that they're getting and the outcomes that they're getting in terms of the fan base.
And that sucks. And there probably is some of that. They did spend more money in 16 and 17 and 18, but since then they haven't. There's no excuse for it. They've talked about TV and COVID. It's all baloney. And hopefully when David Blitzer takes over, and I don't know when that's going to happen, hopefully sooner rather than later, they will raise the payroll because
if they get a cap, is there a floor?
Has to be. There's no way there's going to be a cap without a floor.
So the floor could make theoretically make them spend more than they do. What are they at currently? 50 million, 60 million?
I don't know exactly off the top of my head right now, but I believe they have the lowest payroll in baseball.
If they do strike, Jason, you, Zach, all you guys talk about.
If.
Okay, well,
it's not going to be a strike. It's going to be a lockout.
Oh, say the lockout. Yeah. I remember the last lockout.
Yeah.
Is there any teams that are in a position where a lockout in a smaller market may kill their fan base and make it?
It's hard to say.
And make it to a point where they can't.
It's hard to say, but if you're doing a lockout, it's really to help the fans for the small market teams.
Right.
If you're a Guardians fan that's pissed about payroll, and I'm sure almost all of our fans are pissed about payroll, you can't be mad at the owner. And you know how I feel about owners and billionaires. I hate them.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't be pissed at the owners if they're locking out to get that cap and that floor to make it more competitive. So I don't see, like, if you're a Guardians fan, and let's say the whole season's wiped out next year, because I don't think that's impossible.
I think that's where exactly
and they come back in 28, and now there's a salary cap, and now there's a salary floor, and the difference between the top payroll and the bottom payroll is much closer. I think as a fan you got to say, okay, I'm pissed that they missed a year, but at least we're going to have a better chance going forward.
The last time it happened, it took a while for baseball to catch traction again. A lot of people just tuned it out.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
when was the last lockout?
95.
I was one.
And by the way, ironically, the
Indians, technically there was a lockout in the COVID year.
Yeah.
But
in 95, the Guardians the Indians at the time was in a pennant race with the White Sox.
Yeah.
And they were cooking that year. Then they kind of, but yeah, it's interesting. I do think the fan base is really loyal. because even if they get mad at Dolan, if every time they do get to the playoffs, they show up.
All right, Mike.
All right, let's get super chats to wrap up today's show. Before we do that, Ant's got a shout out for somebody though.
Yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to Giovanni over at Hilarities. I met him Sunday at a comedy show. Misses our show from last year, but recognized me, loves the show, and wants us to come back and do stand up again, Bull.
I'm in.
We'll
do it again.
Yeah, let's do it.
When was it?
I got my notes. I'm ready.
March.
Oh wow!
Did we have a last place punishment?
We
for
did.
fantasy?
Did Mike even get paid for winning?
No, I'm gonna send a group text.
How about
out.
I paid him.
Tyvis and
Paid him.
Sam both paid me, but no,
Okay.
I'm working.
All right, you'll work it out.
Hold on. Who do I got to pay
Who's
somebody?
the commissioner of this
Yeah,
league,
you got to
Bull?
pay Mike.
So hold on.
I never collected before the season.
This is why.
That was my fault.
How much? How much?
It's $100.
See, okay, man. Listen, this is why. I don't. A Lannister always repays his debt. Don't have me out here looking crazy.
No, I have not.
Mike hasn't reached
I
out
have
to
felt
you guys
awkward
yet.
about sending Venmo requests on my own behalf for a fantasy
know,
league
it's
I
weird.
won. So
Yeah.
I have
yeah.
not sent.
We'll
I will
get that
send it out
together.
this week then. All right, super chats. James May says, "Them boys down in Buckeye work with the Amish. That's how they get their country strength."
Yeah, man.
Man, boy.
He also says, "If Jared Stidham runs the table and wins the Super Bowl, could that affect Bo Nix like it did Carson Wentz?"
No.
Anthony Hall says, "Tyvis, any feedback on M sculpting? Brother's interested."
What? On what?
M sculpting. That's when you seen me on.
Oh,
with the
yeah, yeah,
things. I just did it yesterday.
Is that
What
where
does that mean, M.
Is that where they use the tube to suck out stuff in your stomach?
No, that's what I'm doing in March.
Oh, really?
No.
Is that a cleanse?
M
Or?
sculpted is where they put these paddles on you and it
okay.
like tight. It's essentially you doing 20,000 crunches.
Okay,
But you
okay.
do it in a 30-minute thing.
Okay, man. Sheesh,
It
that's
tones
I don't
you
trust
up.
any of
It
that
tones
stuff.
you up.
Believe it or not,
I've done 3 sessions. I got to do 8. So I'll let you know after I got 5 more sessions to go.
believe it or not, I did 50 crunches on Sunday.
How'd you
how'd you
Bull.
feel?
I did not think I could do 50 crunches,
How'd
but I
you-
did it.
how'd
What
feel?
was the catalyst for that?
I said that Aaron and I were talking about, like, because he's real trim and he's in good shape now between swimming and wrestling, and I'm like, but you need to get stronger. So like you start working out.
Yeah.
I said, grab one of your buddies and go to the gym or whatever. And he's like, Dad, you want to go work out with me in the basement? So I'm like, I just told him to work out. I'm like,
You
all right,
can't. I'm myself, right? Y'all got some weights down there or something?
We do, but we were doing a lot of cardio stuff he wanted to do. So he's like, I'm gonna do 50 sit-ups. I'm like, I can't do a sit-up right now, but I can do a crunch. Mm-hmm. So I did crunches when he was doing sit-ups, and I was able to do 50, which I was shocked. I could not do many.
That's all right.
I can only do 3 push-ups right now. That was it.
Hey, listen, push-ups is kind of
You're
difficult.
gonna be a different man in a couple
People
months.
that
Bull.
can't even do 1.
Yeah, I didn't know if I could do any, but I did 3.
That's
and I
like
was
you benching a whole lot of pounds, bro.
I'm
but
impressed.
he's out there. He's like knocking them all out.
Should
Like
have seen me with that 255 with them
Yeah.
chains the other day.
how many reps?
I did 10.
What is the thing? What do you do at the combine? How much weight is that?
225.
Oh, so this is more than that.
Yeah.
This was the bench.
Yeah.
How many did you do at the combine?
15.
Could you do
29.
more than that now?
No, I don't know.
I mean, you're bigger now.
Yeah, I
You
don't
could
know.
definitely do more now.
The
Ty.
most I've ever done is 29, and no, I can't do nowhere near 20 nothing
No,
ever.
You get hurt.
Yeah,
I put it on the bench.
I probably listen.
29?
Every grown man, if you play football, is supposed to be able to do 225 10 times.
Hey, we'll do some more super chats. We'll get back
Yeah.
to this conversation overtime. I think there's some
I don't think Dustin
fascinating
did 10.
Yeah.
sub-facets.
Go ahead.
Topo42 says, thoughts on Udinski taking the head coaching job and then bringing in Mike Pettin to be his defensive coordinator mentor if Jim Schwartz leaves.
Mike Pettin
Mike
said
just
he
retired.
Mike
He
Pettin talking about
retired.
he about to go hang out with his grandkids.
Yeah.
He said I got 4 of them.
That would be funny if he did.
It would be.
And you bring back Chris Tabor
And go
to
check
be
out
in.
that interview yesterday because it was a great
Yeah.
interview.
A
Really
lot of
appreciate
people
Coach.
reached out and said that was a crazy. They liked
Yeah.
that interview. A lot of people did.
Well, I mean, the Brian Flores stuff.
That it was.
The Johnny Manziel stuff was interesting.
Rob Cunningham says, is DeQuell Jackson still with the Browns? He is not,
No.
Rob.
No,
James May said, should the Browns interview Coach Prime for the Rooney Rule? We talked about that earlier.
I don't think so.
Alex
is
Roush
not doing that.
says,
He wouldn't do
Tyvis
it.
having an OnlyFans makes all the sense in the world after learning on his morning show that his electric bill was $900.
What?
Yeah, you know that?
$900?
900, 910.
What was y'all doing?
How do you have a
Do
$900?
you leave your apartment to your house at 87 degrees
No.
at
I never heard of such a thing.
We have-
Electric bills are really high right now, aren't they?
Says that something about we got like a pump and like when it gets really cold,
oh
the
my
thing
God,
goes off
that's
and you
insane.
can't. There's nothing you can do.
These electric companies, first of all, they gave bribes. The First Energy bribed the politicians in Ohio.
Yeah,
they got away with it. I mean, it's a total criminal racket. And the guys that got bribed in our state government didn't even lose their job.
It's funny that he brought
It's
that
crazy.
up because I just paid that bill.
How about your electric bill? What's your electric bill?
I don't see any.
Oh, your wife does it?
I paid $106 this morning for my heating bill.
Mine
You
was
live in an
81
apartment.
for mine.
Well,
Must be
heating,
nice.
Oh,
electric,
for your heating.
Heating/electric, yeah.
Okay.
It's all tied together.
Well, it's a house.
I don't know what my electric bill would be because I have solar panels. So my electric bill is way less than it would be if I didn't have the solar panels.
I got to get on that, man. I don't know, man.
agree.
I don't know how much I'm saving though.
Is that expensive to install like that?
It is.
I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna get some
But
solar
I
panels.
pay it. I'm just paying it out. Like I didn't pay it all at once.
I might want. You got some solar panels on your roof?
We got I think 16.
They be cooking. They be working like that.
I mean, especially in the summer. I didn't from August
You got 20 seconds.
through November. I think I had a credit on my.
Rose,
I'm about to get
call the folks up
And
and
even
tell
now,
them.
my electric bill's like $50 a month.
I need them solar panels. Bull got them. I want them too.
We're talking Bulls workout tips in overtime. Peace.
Hey, I need.